and gentlemen, and welcome back. If you're watching the video, we got a green and pink and purple stage, so you know what that means. It's our first newscast of the year. You know, we have done... Was Dexter this... Wait, is this our first cast of the year? Or Dexter, what? I'm losing track of time. We did Dexter on Sunday, so okay. So
we played COD this year. I wouldn't call that a GeekVerse event, though.
Yeah, exactly. It should have been, but no, very exciting. This is episode 441. I am We're Back, baby, the Clown Prince of Podcast, Trash Snail, and I'm joined by
New Year, new me, friendly neighborhood caster, Kirklin Patzer, here with my buddy to my right for video. Video viewers. Not
the next person.
On the field of field, center field. Is that your Christmas gift, Kirklin? That's pretty cool.
That's my Christmas bonus. That's why I spent it all. A new light and this painting.
Yeah, wow.
What color is your light right now?
It's a gift. It's green, right? It's pink. No, this one's actually matching.
Well, we get to... This is a fun one because we have not... This used to be an annual podcast, but we didn't do it last year because we did the 2019 movie preview or whatever, the 2020 preview, actually. And then when we got to 2021, all the movies we had previewed the year before had not come out. So like, well, we don't have much to do, not much to talk about. And we thought, well, delays are over, so can we talk about this? Luckily, there's only been one movie delayed so far, but there's a whole whack of movie, whole slew of movies we have not talked about really yet. Some we will, kind of mention here or there that we probably talk about quite a bit, but we do this, and then at the end, all of us pick our top 5 most anticipated movies from the list, and then next week, we're doing something similar to video games this week, but it's combined cast. Oh my God. First cast of 2022, baby. Either next week or the week after, we'll be doing a movie draft. And how that's going to work is everyone's going to draft 10 movies. And at the end of the year, whoever has the most box office wins. So you got to really hope that none of these movies get thrown on Disney Plus or something like that, too. So that's what's going to happen. All of us are going to draft 10 movies. And whoever has the most money at the end of the year is the winner. So it's going to be a fun time. Taylor, when we're doing all these fun casts, where can they find us?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us through the internet connection in the search bar. GeekVerse.ca is our home base. GeekVerse is our Twitter, and GeekVerse on Facebook.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of good stuff happening this week. Our Dexter penultimate episode came out. The finale is this Saturday, so we'll be live right after for the specific people. If not, Sunday morning, it'll be right there. Dylan dropped his annual... Out of Mana, I don't know what it is, but he does his game of the year. That's what he does, and he had Dante on. They went 4 hours. My goodness, they went long as our No Way Home review. So check that out. That's live. I think he's doing a part 2 later on this week that I think is dropping on the Thursday, so look out for that. We'll have a Boba Fett review tomorrow, and then, in the coming weeks, there'll be Scream. There won't be a Morbius review, which we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a few other things, but lots of good things popping off. You can go back in the past few months. We did, obviously, Hawkeye. Every episode of Dexter, Spider-Man, Matrix, lots of good stuff. Eyes Wide Shut, So, and we got a couple. The good thing is the Morbius delayed now. We can knock off a couple of those Patreon retrospectives. So we have some really good ones coming up there, and have some really good plans for comic book versions. If you're a Batman fan, sorry, fanboy Clay, but if you're a Batman fan, man, we got you covered for the next 3 months, and they better not fucking delay that movie or I'll quit podcasting. But hopefully it's going to be on March. Best way to listen is go down below. Everything we do, audio, video, where to find us is there, but the best thing about that down below section is Patreon. The more you support us, the more content you get. Just like tonight, you're able to send in questions and topics, which we will talk about. Ad-free episodes, exclusive episodes, early episodes, lots of stuff. You'll be voting on Golden Geeks when that comes up. So please do that. Podcast network is down below. All our 4 main feeds are down below. But with Patreon, that's the best way to support us, because the more you support us, the more content you get. So let's just jump right into this. So obviously, 2021, we'll probably do a bit more of a retrospective when we do Golden Geeks. That's usually when we talk about the year. But I think we had a pretty banger year. For myself personally, lots of good movies. And this year is just looking like it's going to be stacked for the most part. It's these early months that we're going to get to. And we also have some news topics to talk about. Of course, we're going to talk about some DC goodness later on. But we're going to combine those and talk about them when we get to those certain movies. So in January, we're going to start, and this is where we go. We go month by month, so let's just jump right into it. January 7th, not much popping off. The only thing there is this movie called The 355. So this is a movie that I am excited for, kind of, except they put in January 7th, so they don't care about it. They want it to die, pretty much, I'm pretty sure. But because January was a dumping ground before. Now it's a little bit better, but still, it's like, I know COVID, it's just when you release them. But this movie has a stellar cast if you look at it. It's Lupita Nyong'o, Jessica Chastain, Diane Kruger, and it's all about, like, women that are super agents from different countries combining together to take down somebody or some bad thing. It's like, I'm down for Secret Agents. I'm down for that cast. The only worry for me is the director of this is Simon Kingberg, who did the only film he's ever directed was Dark Phoenix. So that's where I go, oh, yeah. And the fact that they've also put in January, I feel like I've seen zero promotion for this movie. I saw one trailer. I can't remember with one movie, but that was it. I don't even, like, when I saw this, all the dates so far, I'm like, oh, I kind of know this is coming out. They're right. This hadn't come out yet. So I'm excited by the cast. I will check this one.
You'll check this one out
When it's on a Netflix, a Prime, Amazon, something like that. This is not, I'm not going to the theaters. I'm not spending, I hope, even if I'm not seeing it, I hope people say good things about it. But for me, I will skip this one. But there's other movies like A Hero, King Car. See, for me, we usually just talk about the big ones. But if there's any fun ones, we'll show them up. But any interest in this movie, guys? The 355?
I think I'm with you. I think I'll catch on Netflix or something. I always have a sweet spot for action movies, and I love the Jason Bourne movies growing up. And Shay absolutely hates them, so it sucks because I never get to watch them until she's gone. But maybe the cast will win her over, and it'll be a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it, though. So their promo's not the best.
I've never heard of this, but I give props to people that work on these films that use the phrasing from the studio that brought you so and so, because that's usually when they don't have like a big director name that they can kind of boost
This is from the guy that brought you Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, that's not selling.
They
any
didn't want
tickets.
to have
no. But the studio that brought you the Jason Bourne, no, that's gonna sell maybe 2 tickets. So
Two. Wow.
You and me, Taylor, we going?
yeah.
So no GeekVerse review there. January 14th, Hotel Transylvania Transformania. It's going to be on Amazon Prime. It's not going to theaters anymore. You have Scream, and then you have Sesame Street. And I think if I remember when I clicked on, the plot sounded intriguing or something. Yeah, here it is. Big Bird and his Sesame Street friends are mysteriously expelled from the neighborhood, and they find themselves in Manhattan. They team up with a plucky history show host, Sally Hawthorne, played by Anne Hathaway, and Bo Burnham's in this one. So some people are really excited about that. I got a soft spot in my heart for Sesame Street. I don't think I'll be going to the theaters, but I think this is gonna be a great one. I'll eventually watch with the kids. But again, I don't know where this movie is premiering. Maybe I should try to find that out, because if this movie is out in 11 days, I have not seen a single fucking thing for this movie. And while they're talking, I think Kirklin's hacking away right now to look. But like, I have to look if there's a preview or anything. But this is all the stuff in January right now, because I would say the same thing about Scream. We got that first trailer, and I know they've released images and some posters, but man, it's felt dead fucking quiet. It does not feel like there's a new Scream 5 supposed to be out in 11 days. It does not feel like that at all. So I'm for Sesame Street. I'm excited. I like Sesame Street. I watch with my kids. Hotel Transylvania. I like the series enough. Again, a good thing to watch with the kids. I'm very surprised Adam Sandler's not back. I don't know why. It feels like that's the easiest money in the world, but he's not back. And then Scream, I will definitely be seeing because I'm a big fan of that franchise. But again, I have around it. So, Kirklin, I saw your fingers working around there. Have you got any info for me?
There's no way this movie's coming out. It like, if you check the cast, it shows like Anne Hathaway, Bo Burnham rumored, and Chance the Rapper, and that's it. That's where the trail ends. Yeah, and then like release date just says 2022 UK with like nothing else. There's no way. There's not even like a preview, a teaser, anything.
This is like the video game like December 31st date, like when they always get those. Like, I wonder if it was planned for this, or maybe like is it getting shadow dropped on like HBO Max or something? I don't know, but strange.
Yeah, it says pre-production expected 2022. So I don't know. That's not good. That's not good sign.
What about the 2 other big ones?
I've never seen Hotel Transylvania. I probably should. They look kind of cute and fun, but never crossed my list. And Scream.
Kids.
I'm still waiting for that Scream retro, guys. I've
No, okay. I got receipts. I asked Kirklin, and I could find it. I'll post them. I said, should we do a Scream retro? And he's like, I'll get back to you on that, or something like that. Like, I'm 50-50.
It's me getting back to you. I'm in now.
11 days left to watch 4 movies. There's not going to be a Scream retro, I'll tell you that. But
I've never really
yeah.
seen Scream. I feel like I pull my Scream knowledge from Scary Movie 1, which probably isn't the best. So
Oh, fuck.
I might see this. You know, I feel like I've seen the first, so that's probably all the knowledge I need, right? I'm not a hardcore fan, but at least to know what's going on. Okay, there's a killer.
You probably, you. I think anybody could legitimately. I think all you really need to make sure is you see the first one. I really do,
Yeah.
and then you're good. So, plus, like maybe you'll see it eventually because there's not much out for these next little bit here. But Taylor, any of these movies floating your boat here?
I like the first Hotel Transylvania, but I kind of fell off.
This is 4.
I know. I kind of fell off that wagon. I wasn't really like on board with them moving forward. Sesame Street, like I grew up not watching that, so I got like no heartstrings attached to Sesame Street whatsoever. But I am familiar with like the characters and stuff like that. As far as Scream goes, I do share a certain level of excitement for this film.
He sounds
I'm
like
not
he's
as
lying.
I'm not as big a fan as you are, Travis, but like I think I did. It was this Halloween or last Halloween. I just binged all of them. Just sort of excitement for it, but or excitement for like the series because I didn't. When did they announce that they were doing this Scream? Was it a while ago or?
Yeah, I'd say like not to be cheeky, but like definitely at least like a year ago or something like that. Like I feel like it's been enough because I know there was like Samara Weaving was attached to it at one point, and she could make it work with scheduling conflicts. But this is from the directors of Ready or Not though, so that's what's exciting.
Yeah. No, I look forward to it.
That didn't excite Taylor as much as I thought it was gonna because he loved.
No,
Ready or Not, but there you go.
I'm still like, am I awake? What's going on?
Take the red pill, man. The King's Daughter. I had no idea what this was, but then I clicked on the plot. Great cast. Pierce Brosnan, Kaylee Shodalo. I just really like her from Effia from Skins. Rachel Griffiths, William Hurt, and Fan Bingbing. I don't know who Fan Bingbing is, but it's
She's
a
in the
mermaid
355 too. That's funny.
Oh, right. Yeah. Let's see. The Creature in the Water, She Called to Me. Let's see. It sounds like a swashbuckling live action Little Mermaid, but with some different twists to it. King Louis's quest for immortality leads him to capture and steal the mermaid's life source, a move that is further complicated by illegitimately's daughter discovers of the creature. She forms a bond with the mermaids, and they fight to protect her from the harm at a great cost. I definitely will not be working my way. Don't laugh. Like I definitely am not gonna go. Oh, this. Do you guys see the poster?
I love this poster.
Oh, it's terrible. Oh, it's awful.
It's so magical.
It's
I love
H2O out of water, whatever
so
those movies
magical.
were.
Do you see Pierce's?
Oh, Pierce is on fire.
That's his hair, man. Have you seen him?
That's
in the
not a
wild
wig.
these days?
And like that's not a wig. Get out of here.
It's so
And, like,
natural.
it's so
It's looking like
natural.
Prince Charming.
Yeah, I never seen that one. I just love that they're like the whole thing, like they're in the room, there's water by it. But this is the thing. This is why I've missed the annual movie previews, because when we find the movies, like, oh, what is this? And we click on the link, it's like, oh fuck. And like, I should have watched the trailer before, but now I'm intrigued enough because I really liked. She was somebody that when when you're a young lad and the only way you can find maybe pornographic scenes is sex scenes on YouTube, that was maybe where I found Skins, and Effie was great. And Taylor, what movie do you know her from though?
I know her from Resident Evil and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking
Hell
for.
yeah.
Right. She was in Resident Evil. Was she good in that? Like good enough screen time? I'm gonna watch that in the next couple weeks.
I mean, she definitely had screen time. I can give you that.
But does that just mean she was on screen, or was she good in the movie?
No, I think she was okay. Like she's not. I don't think she's blowing out of the water for best performance in Resident
Blowing out of the
Evil.
water?
But yeah, she'll be blowing out of the water in this movie. I can tell you that.
Anyone
So
have
Pierce.
yeah. Anyone have anything to add on The King's Daughter?
I'm
Nada.
gonna see it. I'm actually really excited.
Let's see. So this movie is coming out. This next one, Serrano, I think it is. But anyways, I am actually pretty excited for this. This is one that I don't know if I'll see in theaters, but it's Peter Dinklage, and it's great. Where obviously, he's a little person, and the whole thing is like it's back in the day. It's like the 1800th century where it's like, oh, a woman wouldn't date this guy and stuff like that. So what happens is there's this other guy that really likes her, but he doesn't really know how to talk. So he has the looks, and then Peter Dinklage is like a poet, and he's like telling her things to say to get this girl, but Peter Dinklage is also in love with this girl. So honestly, you're probably hearing me like, oh, that sounds kind of lame. If you watch the trailer, it kind of looks like a delight, like 100%. Like it looks like I think this will have to do with runtime, but it looked like a very almost like it's not this comedic, but like a Hitch, but like back in that era, and Peter Dinklage is kind of Hitch in that way. But like I said, there's that fun like caveat of like they're both in love with the same woman, but she can't really be with Peter Dinklage, and I don't think, and then there's the whole thing. The woman doesn't know Peter Dinklage is writing for this guy and stuff like that. So
she'll find out.
She will find out. So yeah, I really liked the trailer. I don't know if you guys have anything to say on it, but that's coming out January 28th. Go once, going twice.
That's my birthday.
I'm definitely on board for this. It says something about like Pride and Prejudice. Oh, the same director of the film is Pride and Prejudice. Madison is a huge Pride and Prejudice fan. It's her favorite movie of all time. So
this will be a kick. Just put this on for her. Don't even set it up. Just like, I think I got a movie, and she's, gonna love you for it. She might marry you. Now we go into February 4th. For some reason, here we are. Jackass Forever and Moonfall are the two big ones. Man, what a weekend you have. Jackass Forever, obviously we know what that's all about. And Moonfall is at Halle Berry. I think is it Patrick Wilson, or boy?
Yeah.
I think
Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, we watched a trailer a couple months ago where literally the moon explodes and it's falling and stuff like that. There might be aliens.
We saw most of the movie in that trailer.
Yeah. Kirklin, what are you? Any of these movies getting you out to buy a ticket?
I mean, like, as much as I shit on these types of movies, I feel like I'm so prone to just watching them anyways. Like, just some random Saturday afternoon, I'll throw it on. So, that'll be a Netflix date for sure. Just like action on screen movie if I'm doing something else. 2012 is a movie that I rewatch for that reason. San Andreas.
You rewatched.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen it multiple times. I like
in
some
one
world
set
ending.
sitting. Watch it back to back.
Well, if I'm cleaning the house, I'll throw it on or something. I'm not gonna miss
called
much.
Fucking 2020 and not 2012. They're about 8 years off. Fuck.
Absolutely.
And what about Jackass? Were you ever a fan of those?
I feel like
you were. Yeah, you
I
were.
feel like maybe the idea of it was fun when I was in like elementary school, and now it's just like, come on, guys, you guys are old. You guys are gonna kill each other. Like, come on.
Are people gonna say that to us when we're 50? When they look at this podcast, like, come on, guys, stop.
If we're staying up till midnight for these midnight launches, maybe I won't even make it there. I can't.
Well, the good thing is maybe at that point we'll be retired and we can do them in the morning because we won't have jobs, right? Fuck, that's the life.
It's a good point.
6-year-old podcasters. Finally, we can talk about the Nova Corps series. We love it. Taylor, you were shaking your head vigorously, so you're all excited about Jackass, I take it.
Oh yeah, Jackass is definitely something that I hopped on that wagon come Jackass 3, and it's just such a good time with my friends. And I don't know how they're still doing this stuff, but I remember I've said this before, the things that Travis being frozen.
Oh my god, get that photo. Oh.
I got it.
Oh, you did? Okay, that was so scary.
Absolutely
that was a
terrifying.
Morbius poster.
You gotta print it on StreamYards if you can. Send it yourself, because
my wife. So scary.
I'm like Taylor on Sunday. My wife, I even rebooted my computer before the cast. Like, oh, I'm good to go. Oh, but anyway, so
yeah, I think Jackass is great. I'm gonna pop it on the StreamYards here.
Okay. The reason my face is like that, you put on StreamYards, is because my left eye has been twitching for the past 3 days now, and it is the most fucking annoying thing of all time. Emily keeps telling me I just need rest, but like I'm trying to sleep. But yeah, like right now, literally the bottom of it's just going ham right now. So it's just like, if you see me looking like that again, Travis, are you the Undertaker? Boom, look at him. But and I look like I got a dick in my mouth too, like I'm doing the tongue on the cheek thing. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, my left eye has been twitching for like not days. Literally, this is the third day, but it just sucks. It's just annoying. So
I've been there. It's a weird feeling.
And then Taylor on Moonfall. That's a you movie, right? Like I don't know if you watch it right away, but you'll be bringing it up next, like in the 2023 Golden Geeks or something. Like, you guys seen Moonfall?
I mean, I definitely enjoy those kind of movies, but I definitely am in no rush to watch them. Those kind of films are like the equivalent to like my Olympus Has Fallen kind of for like series, or I get to them eventually, but not right away after a certain period of time. But normally, like for Golden Geeks and stuff, I don't really bother bringing those up unless it's like as good as Independence Day Resurgence or something like that.
Oh, as
so.
good as.
Yeah.
Kirklin, you still haven't seen Don't Look Up, right?
No, I was gonna watch it, and yesterday beat it out, and I did not like that movie, so I wish I watched it.
You watched what? You watched?
What did you
It
beat?
Out?
You beat one out? Is that what you said?
what are you
I
talking?
beat one out. It's my
I
time.
didn't watch Don't Look Up. I just beat one
No,
out.
yesterday beat it out. The movie.
Oh,
Yesterday.
the movie yesterday, and you didn't like
Yesterday.
it.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
Wow,
No.
I really like that movie. That's the
It
same
was-
guy who wrote Love Actually and About Time and stuff.
Yeah, I just didn't like the concept of this guy just plagiarizing all this music. And
Well,
it's-
that's the
yeah.
point.
Ed
Like,
Sheeran's
he's
a
an
terrible
asshole.
actor. That was god awful.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah.
Okay,
He's terrible in Game of Thrones, terrible in this. No.
Well,
it was okay.
anyway-
6 out of 10.
I'll just say, like, when you're like, oh, we've seen these movies before and we know how they go. That's why I love Don't Look Up, because that was like, it tackles that, but it's like, it's lots of good different turns. Definitely recommend it. I'll probably be trying to do I got my 60 movies ranked for 2021, so I'm going to try to do a cast at some point if I got time. My eye comes back to normal. Yeah, I'm the same as these guys. Moonfall, I would put on Netflix as like, oh, this seems stupid. Like, if I have to edit a podcast or something, that's when this movie will go on. Jackass, I've never been the biggest fan of. Even though I like Bad Grandpa, I had a good time with that.
Uh-oh. His eye's acting up again. Oh, there he is.
His eyes
Christ.
flickering the internet off with his Twitch.
Yeah. Bad Grandpa I liked, but yeah, it's just never been a thing for me. Even though like I like Kenny versus Spenny, so I don't know why. It just hasn't. I guess maybe they just seem a bit more obnoxious, or I just don't like the gimmick. But either way, that weekend I'll be firmly planted at home, probably watching something on Netflix or playing a game or something. So. After that, holy shit, phone! Why'd you make me jump all the way to December there? Okay, so after that, oh fuck. So we will talk about it because there was gonna be Morbius, but that got delayed to April, so we'll talk about that in April. Death on the Nile. Death on the Nile is a movie that Disney got in the Fox purchase. It is a sequel to Murder on the Orient Express. Now, Murder on the Express made lots of money, big cast. You think, oh, there's going to be absolutely no problems at all for this, right? But then Armie Hammer decided, I'm going to start eating people. And then now this movie's become such a big pain. And this is the thing where, allegedly, right? Just allegedly.
I missed that news.
You did? Oh, look it
Yeah.
up. It's a wild fucking story. It's a wild story. So
Whoa.
either way, they've had a tough time figuring out what they're going to do with this movie. Here's to the point. So Taika Waititi has a movie coming, Controversy on the Nile. Ask Bubs. There you go. You know what he's talking about. Taika Waititi, I'm not sure if we're going to talk about if it's on this year. I think it is. He has a movie, I think, called First Goal or Next Goal. It's hopefully Michael Fassbender's comeback. So we'll talk about here right now. It's him as like a soccer coach or something like that, and it's supposed to be like comedic Taika, so everyone's kind of like, oh good, like Fassbender's going to be in maybe like an Academy level movie. The problem is one of the big supporting characters in that movie is played by Armie Hammer. They have just recasted him. They're reshooting all the scenes with Will Arnett. So that's the point where another movie's doing that. This movie was way too far in production. If you look at posters, they're taking them off and stuff like that. So I think it is still coming out in theaters. Everyone's been talking about that they may like just kind of boot it to Hulu or something like that. I think could be the case because he's like the main lead with Gal Gadot. So like next to Kenneth Branagh. So it's very Taylor says woof in the chat. You can say woof. Everyone knows about it now. It was one of these things that was breaking on Twitter, and I didn't share about it or talk about GeekVerse for a while. And I was like, this is fucking like. What happened was it broke, and I was like, this seems like this could be fake. There was audio recordings and stuff, and then like days later, it's like he's getting cut from these movies. He's going to rehab, which I don't know as we review Dexter, like what rehab there is for potential cannibalism, but that's the problem with Death on the Nile, that he is one of the co-leads, and that obviously is a big problem. I never saw Murder on the Orient Express. I know, I can't remember, Taylor, if you were on that. I know Briggs and Dylan did
I
a
wasn't
review.
on it.
Oh, yeah, so just them two did a review. So I wouldn't have been seeing this anyways. I'm just more interested in see what Disney ends up doing with this film. But, and then there's this movie called Marry Me. Ooh, what's Marry Me? Oh, the posters, two people. Oh, Owen Wilson and Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez marries Owen Wilson in a rom-com. Okay.
Pass.
Let's see. Charles Gilbert, a math teacher, total strangers agree to marry and get to know each other after. An unlikely romance about two different people searching for something real in a world where value is based on likes and followers. Marry Me is a modern love story about celebrity marriage social media. So they just like their first day is like getting married, and then they figure out from them. All right.
Love is Blind, man.
Love is Blind. The cannibalism acts I've answered movie. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough sell. The back of Armie Hammer's head is in the trailer, even though he's the lead character. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So I'm not sure if you guys had any interest, barring Arnie, of like seeing like a murder mystery again in that sequel, or were you planning on skipping it even before everything?
Yeah, I was pretty lukewarm on it. I feel like if it's, no, I'm not paying money to go see that.
There you go.
Nope.
And then after that, the next weekend, I clicked on this movie called Dog. It doesn't look like anything too exciting. It's Channing Tatum with a dog. Like, okay, sure. Like, I don't know. It looks like some sort of comedy. And then is Uncharted. They have done everything in their power to make sure, like, the only thing they got going for them is there's not many movies coming out, so there's a chance I might go see it because, content for the podcast, review it. But really, I don't know if I even want to do that because all the previews so far, and this is somebody who's not played the single games. I keep telling myself one day I'm going to play through them all. I've seen them, I've like played them a little bit, but I've never started to finish them. I just don't think it looks great. It looks like it's very kind of middle of the road, so it doesn't look like anything I'd want to spend a night out and money on. So again, it seems to be striking out the movie so far in January, February for me. But this Uncharted just doesn't really have me. Taylor, are you excited at all for Uncharted?
I mean, I really love the games. I really do. And I want to say like I'm excited. I mean, I'm definitely interested enough going in because it's going to be hard. I think the problem is not to see Spider-Man, watching this movie. I think I'm definitely probably a lot more excited seeing Mark Wahlberg going into this than I am Tom Holland. And it's not any shot against Tom Holland. It's just so fresh. Like, okay, No Way Home just was a big thing. It was like super big. That's all I'm going to see is just Spider-Man in this movie. So, yeah.
Imagine they had Toby instead of Mark Wahlberg. Can you imagine that pair?
As Sully? Wow.
As Sully. Why not? Give him a big mustache. Andrew is like one of the girls.
Andrew's one of the girls.
Yeah, I probably will see this. I think Shay likes Tom Holland enough to not really care about the movie, so that'll work. And
That'll work.
I'm like interested. It's one of those things where I just got to see how it goes. I got to just have the knowledge of how bad or mediocre or possibly good this movie is. I've only ever played the second game, and I really, really liked it. It really scratches that Indiana Jones itch for me. So I think, if anything, it'll be fun. There'll probably be some good banter between Mark and Tom. So I hope it's good, because I probably will see this.
After that, the week after, we have a movie called The Devil's Light. A nun prepares to perform exorcism and comes face to face with a demonic force with mysterious ties to her past. Sounds like every fucking other Exorcist movie we've had before. I looked at the cast. There's absolutely no. Okay, there's one guy I know, but like, it is a very very small.
Who's the guy
cast.
you know?
The guy from 13 Reasons. That guy. He played Tony and stuff like that. So
Christian Navarro.
Yeah, and I really
my
like
favorite
Christian
actor.
Navarro. Yeah, I was bummed to apparently audition for the Prince and Little Mermaid and didn't get it. So I actually really like him as an actor, but that's not going to get me to see The Devil's Light. I did forget to bring this up. I can't remember if we talked about we did talk about newscast recently. The same week Uncharted is out. This is where Kirklin can find someone to do an Uncharted review, and then me and Taylor will be reviewing Texas Chainsaw Massacre because that comes out the same day as Uncharted on Netflix. So that's the good thing where I've talked about before in that newscast, my excitement, who knows how it is for another Texas Chainsaw, but it's on Netflix, easy watch. So that Friday night, I'll be putting it on. I'll hope to see if they recapture the magic, this whole, sequel of like ignoring the other stuff works. So yeah, anything that you saw in February here you wanted to shout that I didn't?
Nope.
Yeah, pretty
You
lackluster
got it all.
start of the year, but it's all fucking like backloaded later on. So we are going to be right back because we're going to talk about a big one in March. So we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So obviously this is one where I talked about before where we won't do a deep dive because we talk about this, weekly, all the time, maybe daily and stuff like that. But still, March 4th, as of right now, because God help me with all these cases going up, Morbius gets delayed. all I need, I literally have said this before, I just need to see the Batman, and then they could say, okay, every other movie from the year is getting delayed to next year, and I'd be completely fine. Because I know I already got No Way Home, and then the Batman, and then once Batman goes to Blu-ray, I'll just watch that over and over for the rest of the year. I don't need anything else. Just give me the Batman. I sound like the Riddler. Give me the Batman, but Batman coming out March 4th. I don't know if there's anything more I can say on this, that like my excitement level, because Brent had asked me this around No Way Home time. It's funny that he said, what's everyone's excitement level in the GUA chat? And I said, like, oh, it's just below like that top tier. And for me, the top tier was always like Dark Knight Rises, like an Endgame, Force Awakens was definitely in there, and Logan. Those were the ones that are like the peak like excitement. And No Way Home, like, it took a couple days, then it did get that peak excitement, because I started talking to people that didn't even really love the MCU movies, like, oh, I really like this. I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then it was warranted once it got in the theaters, it met that. This movie is on that level. I know it's the first, I know it's new Batman and stuff, but just what we've seen in the trailers, I think we are getting something really special. It's one of these movies, like, I hate saying this, but it just feels like if my enjoyment isn't in a 10 out of 10, I feel like I'm going to be disappointed, just because so far everything I've seen, from marketing to comments to interviews from trailers, I've just been over the moon from it. So I cannot wait to see the Batman. Kirklin, I know you're in the same boat of me as this one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not as big as a Batman fan as you, but this is still my number one for the year.
Oh, he spoiled it. We're supposed to wait to the end. Look at that.
It's not much of a spoiler. It's always
Let's get rid of them right there. It's a good idea.
It's always a big deal when you have a movie just like standing on its own. Like there's not another movie for like a complete week, because they just know that it's not gonna compete. You know, it's. Maybe this could have been a good release date for Matrix instead of the Spidey weekend. But no, there's no point in repeating what Travis said. I'm so excited for that movie, and it's gonna be a special one. I feel like every time I get the trailer in the theater, I just like get brought to tears, because it's just so fucking crazy. It's gonna be a special one.
Taylor, I imagine you're kind of in the same boat. I feel like we're a broken record here. We need Dylan to come back and give some Batman shade or something like that.
We're just Clay on here, just like talking about how
Fuck
bad
the
Batman is.
I know everything.
Yeah, I think this. There's no doubt in my mind this movie's gonna do absolutely phenomenal. Like, it's just the trailers they put out is just super, super exciting and thrilling for this film, and yeah, it's definitely easily. Like, I already have a list of obviously what I'm super excited for this year, and this is definitely in that top 5 going up, tier for me. So
there you go. He didn't fully spoil it, Kirk.
It's in his top 5.
Before we're gonna let Taylor go last, because I want me and Kirkland try and guess Taylor's, because I feel like I know number 1. I feel like Kirkland will too. But so even then, the next week we got Pixar's Turning Red. Again, that's not a big I don't think there's not much crossover audience there, but that looks really cute. That looks fun. I'll definitely be, as long as cases are going good, because again, if that one comes out, but as long as things are going good, I'll definitely be going with the kids that one. I've liked all the trailers so far. I don't think I was on the newscast when you guys talked about it, but it's a fun gimmick. It's gonna very much have to deal with like adolescence and maturing and puberty, but I think that looks really good. And what is this movie Fear coming out the week of the Batman? A much-needed getaway and celebration weekend turns into a nightmare due to a contagion airborne threat.
It's COVID.
Why? Okay, so here you go right there. I'm looking at the cast. I know a few people. Here's one thing, and this is where people, I don't think will call me a hypocrite or something like that, but just like anytime I hear any movie announced about anything to do with COVID, or, like, oh, there's a movie about they're doing a bank robbing COVID, I have no interest. As of right now, I get it in the future. This is a thing of our time. I get in the future, 10 years from now, if we're hopefully past this, and you want to do all your movies, fine. As of right now, when I got to put on my mask every fucking day, I got to plan my life around this shit. I got to question, hey, can I take my kids to this event or not, because it could be safe? Should we go trick-or-treating this year? I have no interest in watching any movie to do with this. And I understand, because I feel like the same way we've talked before. If people have had, a drunk driving accident, if there's a movie that tackles that, they may not want to do that because it affected their life. So it's like, I think I'm in that position now where anything about COVID or like lockdown movies or contagion, I just don't have an interest. I really don't, because it's just like movies are supposed to be some sense of escapism, and that's where for me I don't have any interest in Fear. So I'll definitely would not see that. Turning Red, I will definitely see with the kids. Again, talking about contagions, that whole question of like if cases are good. But where are you guys on that? Because I don't think we really talked about that on the podcast. Movies that tackle a topic similar to COVID or literally use COVID as a plot line. Is that something that and I'm not saying don't make the movie. I'm not picking that. I'm just saying for me, that will I will maybe never watch those movies because like we're living through it right now, and I could watch that movie, like I said, maybe 10 years from now or when we're past it. But when we're in the middle of it and we're in the like restrictions are back, this and that, I got no interest in watching a movie about said terrors going on.
Yeah, I like the morning show had tackled it a little bit. I'm not completely caught up on it, but they were using it. It made sense because it's kind of following like loosely real time. So I liked it there, especially just with how it worked in the plot. But when I see movies about it, maybe like the first one, I was like, oh, look at that. But like maybe that was the early days of COVID too. It's like, oh, they're tackling this thing that's not going to stick around, and then here we are years later, and it's like. No, I'm good. Because I even had that thought with like certain games or like maybe a sports game because like sports has COVID restrictions. They have 50% capacity and all these things. And then I'm like, at first I was like, should they incorporate that? But it's like, no, not at all. It's a fake world. There's no reason to tackle it. So.
Oh, S Bubs, I've seen the rumors. Me and Taylor talked about that on Halloween Kills. He says if you don't like the movie plot line COVID, you may not like the rumors about Halloween Ends. And they're not even rumors. The director came and said like, oh yeah, we're figuring out a way to tackle that. No, it's about like this. This movie is about Michael Myers versus the Strodes. I do not need.
Yeah, now it's about Michael Myers versus this bio.
Oh yeah, like imagine
virus.
That's what's gonna kill Michael Myers is fucking COVID because he's like an 80-year-old guy, and I guarantee you he's not being clean. He's not staying 60 feet difference. He's not vaccinated. Michael Myers is a prime. Imagine that's what takes him down. But like that to me, and you can go check out our Halloween Kills review. Even though one reviewer said we never got to, we did review it. Me and Taylor. I already had my problems with that movie, and I don't like that plot line, but in their hands, not saying they like made a offensive Halloween movie, but just I don't think they can tackle that well. So in the middle of Michael being a slasher, I don't need people wearing the mask. I don't need them worry about like that's just not what I want. And I get people have the argument too of like it's the sign of the times. Make these movies for right now that encapsulate it. But like I've said, we're gonna get fucking dozens and how many World War II movies have we got? How many movies about 9/11? We're gonna get movies about this for the rest of our age. I don't know how many there will be, but that's like if you're gonna do a horror movie in the future, make that the main plot line. I feel like they're just gonna and Halloween really sucks because Michael Myers out there, and we have this. Is like I have no interest at all. Like that's really made me worry when like we're figuring that out. But Taylor, how do you feel about that kind of plot line in general? In any movie, not just Halloween Ends, but just any movie going forward for like while we're still in the middle of all this.
I mean, it's a cop out. It's a cash grab. I mean, if a movie wants to dive into the whole COVID thing and cover it, then sure, let them cover it. Why not? To each his own. But it doesn't need to be like a foundation for moving forward with so many movies. Now, when we talk about fear. It doesn't really. I don't feel like it's necessarily focusing on COVID by that description. I feel like okay, we could get something like in oh my
Contagion?
God, not just Contagion, the Crazies or something like that. Which I think the Crazies was like it wasn't a bad movie. So something along those lines.
Forgot about that one.
Yeah, so I feel like there's still potential. I like those kind of those films. It has a very like 28 days later kind of feel to it at times too. So if it's something along those lines, again, zombies is definitely outdone as well in the North American kind of or Western culture aspect, but there's still room to grow and still room to do new things with that. But if it's just a blatant COVID kind of thing, then wow.
So Christopher, I love it. If you go to a few episodes before we did the Dexter episode 9 review, we talked like there was at least 20 minutes of us talking about like the predictions of episode 10 and who will live, who will die. So
he's already listened. He wants more though.
He wants again. Go listen to that because we all gave. I literally asked Kirklin to our thoughts and stuff like that. So go there. There's a whole episode. March 18th, Downton Abbey, A New Era. When I was watching this, I got a preview for the trailer. Like, what the fuck is this movie? And then I was like, Downton Abbey. I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. There's a few movies I'm going to click on here. Operation Fortune, The Unbreakable Boy, and Unwelcome.
Jason Statham.
What is The Unbreakable Boy? Is that Jason Statham? Oh, no, that's something...
Operation
Fortune.
Part 2.
Okay, yeah, no, Unbreakable Boy is a very serious movie. A young boy with a rare brittle bone disease and autism. What makes him truly unique is his joyous, funny, life-affirming worldview. So, okay, so that's like a, Zachary Levi. Okay, so that's like a touching movie, stuff like that. What was the one with Jason Statham?
Operation Fortune. It's got Aubrey Plaza. It's got Hugh
what?
Grant. This is actually not too bad. I want to see this.
Jerry O'Connell. Where's Jerry O'Connell been? Fuck. Oh, it's a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Carrie Elways too is in it. Okay, Statham and Aubrey Plaza's in a Guy Ritchie movie. That's very interesting. That's kind of I have a plethora because he's been working like a motherfucker of the newer like Guy Ritchie movies. I got to really catch up on, but I've not got. And then this fucking The Unwelcome. God damn, have you seen the picture for The Unwelcome? It's a creature feature. That's a scary thing. The film. Oh, this sounds like this is for you, Tim.
Oh, this is a Taylor
The
movie.
film spins a tale of what happens to people who come in contact with the violent, bloodthirsty goblins known originally as Irish folklore as the Fear Drag or the Far Drag, known often worldwide as the Red Caps. That
I'm
sounds like
so
a cryptid.
down.
You should
There's a
get Ruben on that
trailer.
review. Oh, you should get Ruben on that review. There you go. The Unwelcome. So Taylor, you're excited about The Unwelcome now, I take it.
I'm very excited. Oh, I'm just like breezing through the trailer. It just looks terrifying. Oh my god! I feel like we need to actually do this like together.
Like you
Like,
and Ruben or all of us?
No, we need to like do
no.
like what we did like for Willy's Wonderland.
Willy's
This will be that
Wonderland.
level.
Well, and that's the funny thing to like looking at though, because you got Turning Red, which is obviously the kid audience, but after the Batman, I feel like there's like really no big movies. Like they know, like okay, Batman's out. There's nothing worth putting out a movie there. And then after that, the next week we got The Lost City. I told you guys to watch the trailer. Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I also got. Yeah, I did.
What did you think about it? This? Is Channing Tatum, Daniel Radcliffe, Sandra Bullock, and what I think appears to be a great Brad Pitt, like just kind of appearance, you know?
Yeah, I like at first glance, I thought it was a movie that I definitely have seen before of the two just going out on an adventure or something together. It's you have like the fun gimmick of her being like a writer, and then this is a character that she made, and then she's actually like looking for the city. Very much just I don't know. It reminds me of so many types of movies like that, Journey to Center Earth, The Rundown with The Rock, like those types of movies, which I really like. like I just it's not what I'm getting like super excited for. I think the highlight was the Brad Pitt introduction. He's just this like action hero basically, and he just it looks funny. So I think I actually could see myself seeing this in theaters because I watched the trailer with Shay and she really liked it. So
I think it's gonna be a good date night movie. Look like
Yeah.
when you could go with your significant other and have a fun time. And yeah, it looked one of those like very 2000 like aughts, you know, like the proposal. Like I know Cassandra Bullock, but just like these two characters are put together, and will they fall in love? I don't know. But if people don't know, yeah, like Kirklin was saying, she wrote a book. The guy who's on the cover of all her books wants to prove like he's not just a model. He's dumb, and it's about like adventures, and they're actually going to find this island. Daniel Radcliffe is the villain, so I'm always down for Daniel Radcliffe to be doing some weird ass shit. And yeah, Brad Pitt's in it as like seemingly like the character she maybe based the stories on. But yeah, that moment when he's like pushing him out with the motorcycle, there's an explosion behind him, and like his whipping his hair. I love Brad Pitt in general. He's a man crush, but I love Brad Pitt in comedies. There's just so like he's just so fucking good. And like this, like I don't know if I'll see this movie. I think I will, but at least I'm for sure gonna make sure I find like the YouTube like collection of his scenes in this movie because I love anytime they do that. So I'm excited for Lost City. Taylor, are you excited for Lost City?
I am. It has parts that kind of caught me off guard that I wasn't expecting for myself to enjoy, but humorously, it just seems like a very kind of like I want to say like a cute film as well. I think Sandra Bullock, she plays this like her role, like I'm just gonna defer to like Miss Congeniality, that kind of like mannerism and that she brings to these kind of comedic roles I really enjoy. So I feel like it's definitely just represented well in this film. And yeah, her with whenever I see Channing Tatum just with the Fabio hair, it just always makes me laugh.
it's the Pierce Brosnan hair now.
Oh,
yeah, it
Same
is.
wig.
Absolutely. So I'm just really excited to see them work together on this. So
Yeah, and just because I mentioned the proposal, shout out because obviously this past week Betty White passed away, absolute legend. So big shout out. Almost made it to 100, but doesn't matter. I'm with the people. Just pretend she made it to 100. But the only reason I'm shouting out is because yeah, it's Betty White. She's like a national treasure and stuff like that. But for someone,
shout outs.
wow, StreamYard,
Shouts
really
out,
classy. Yeah, cut me off during that. No, I was just gonna say for someone to get to that age and be relevant for the majority of their career, pretty impressive. So like I said, just
Absolutely.
That's what Travis aspires to do. Be 99 years old. He wants to be relevant in the podcast.
I'll still be
world.
podcasting, yeah, with my kids. After that, we have a bunch of movies that I don't know. So I'm gonna start clicking them and see what will be good. But first, you two gentlemen. So we had just had this happen today. Actually, we're recording this. Morbius was supposed to be out in about 3 weeks. It got delayed all the way till April 1st. So I'm gonna throw you a few questions because I'm gonna look at something. So Kirklin Patzer, I want to get a little conspiracy theorist with you, a little,
Nice.
workshop crafting. So, of course, for us, places, some theaters are shutting down. They're getting the half, capacity again. Cases, I didn't even fucking know. I didn't even look at my phone from Christmas to now. It was like we were at 400 cases, and now we're like 4,000. Like, geez. So we're at the state where like, okay, people are doing more restrictions. We're worried about stuff. So there's the case like, okay, Morbius is getting booted because they're worried about what it's going to be like. But now people are, and I don't personally believe this one, but I'm throwing out for a fun conversation. Do you think there's any chance that this delay is to film or / add scenes with a Spider-Man, specifically maybe an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man into Morbius and all connect it? Because I've seen that be picking up traction and whatnot, because people are like, well, the virus, like, there's all these things like it's not as bad as Delta, and you could cut out, there are people infected but less hospitalizations. So people are like, oh, why like the big jump to April and stuff like that? Why not even to February? So do you think this is just, I got 3 questions for you. Do you think this is I guess it's 2, I lied to you. Do you think it's a actual just bump up, or do you think there is some conspiracy theories? And 2, what are your predictions for, like I said, we got Batman coming up, we got all these other movies like in the next few months. Do you see this being the sole one to jump, or do you think we're going to get that domino effect again coming soon?
I love it. I'm always down for a conspiracy theory. It is a pretty significant jump. I'm gonna eat into this. I think I like this. I think I like this idea that possibly see an Andrew in Morbius. And as for the domino effect, I don't know why. I feel like Batman is pretty solid just because there's nothing really around it. I feel like they're pretty happy with that slot as well. March 3rd, if I'm not mistaken, is that date. So it's a good spot. It's not in like an awkward time zone or time placement or whatever. So I don't think Batman will move. I could definitely see some other ones moving, but I think a jump like this is a little bizarre. It easily could just be, just to have a lot of buffer room for maybe in the warmer months there'll be less COVID cases or something like that, so they can try and maximize the income that they make, because people will be willing to actually go to the theaters and stuff like this if it simmers down a bit. But I think even if there is a delay, it wouldn't be that long. But I don't know. I'm gonna eat into the conspiracy because it's always fun. But I mean, it easily could just be that they're pushing out, like, how many months is that? It was supposed to release January, what day?
January 28th, yeah.
Well, yeah.
So February,
It's
March,
supposed to be my
April.
birthday movie.
Yeah. Oh, damn, you missed Morbius. So it's about 2.5 months.
Yeah, like, it's not that big of a jump when you
No.
think of some other movies that have been delayed.
But it's enough time to do some things. For S-Bubs' commentary, he said maybe not Andrew actually in the movie, but really hammering home that it's in the Amazing Universe, which I would not understand, as Michael Keaton's Vulture is also in that movie. So none of this still makes any sense to me.
None of it makes sense. It doesn't really make sense that we're getting a Morbius movie in the first place, but
That's
here
true.
we are, so...
Mm-hmm. So Taylor, same question to you. Why do you think this is being delayed? Do you think it's just a regular delay, playing it safe, or you think there's some mumbo jumbo Andrew Garfield going on? And 2, what do you think about the chances of other movies? Because obviously we have some movies coming out. This is probably the biggest one before the Batman to get delayed, and April 1st is like we said, not too big of a jump, but still a jump nonetheless. How do you feel about this situation?
Well, I am very much inclined to say that there's probably something more suspicious going on with
Really?
Sony.
2
I think
for
that
2.
I think there is something. I'm definitely gonna go down that road. It just feel like, okay, that's what. Yes, Omicron is doing all its stuff, but what is their, I don't know, path going forward? What is their reasoning? What is their point to just choosing it to be released in that new month as opposed to January? So that's where I kind of think like, okay, to me it feels like they've selected that because it gives them enough time to execute maybe like 2 extra scenes, edit it, and just throw it in as like a post-credit scene or something. They don't even have to redo like a whole segment of the film or anything like that, but just do something to kind of sweeten the sweet tooth a little bit. So I think that there's for sure something in there, because Sony probably was how I envision these meetings with Marvel and Sony.
Oh no!
So Sony is in
But
there
remember, this
and
is
talking.
MCU though, Morbius.
I know.
Okay.
So Sony was in talks about how we're doing No Way Home with Marvel, and they're going ahead doing it. And Marvel's like, if we want to do like Doctor Strange stuff and we want to get like bring your other Spider-Man in here, Sony, and they're like, no, it probably won't be too popular, it won't make us a lot of money or whatever. And then Marvel's like, oh no, do it. And Sony's like, okay, fine. They finally did it, and now they're like, oh wow, this made so much money, it's a huge success. So Marvel's like, yeah, we're gonna be rich, and Sony's like, no. And then they're moving forward. Now they're changing everything in their timeline, adding in the Spider-Man. Yeah.
We
There's no we. Laughs at his
Feige
face.
found dead on the lot.
Signed away all of his shares to Marvel.
Amy Pascal in her hair.
But as far as it goes for other films that could or could not be delayed, it's tricky because like for us here in Canada, like Ontario got hit hard. Like today they got shafted with lockdowns, everything like that. Although I don't know where it stands for movie theaters. I think just restaurants are closed. I didn't see anything about movie theaters closing down.
I don't know. You never know what qualifies as like a public event or what doesn't. Because I love movie theaters, but there's sometimes where it's like, well, I don't know. But yeah, all there's schoolings online and stuff like that now. So.
Yeah. So I don't know how that even includes like a drive-in theater. But again, if they delay the movie, then that's out of the realm of what a drive-in theater can do either way.
Yeah.
But I hope that I think the movie theater experience for the Batman I think is very important because you need that thing like you guys felt with like Avengers Endgame and stuff like that. Like you need that whole environment. So I feel like with the Batman needs to be felt out in such a community way. That being said, if it somehow transitions to digital, which I doubt it would,
No chance, I don't think.
Yeah, no chance at all. They're like, oh, maybe we'll put it on HBO Max or something.
I am willing to. I would say like you should never 100% anything. I would 100% say they would just keep delaying the Batman over and over before HBO Max because Spider-Man just has its third weekend, right? And it's Spider-Man, big event film, multiple, all that jazz, right? But still, I'm pretty sure its third weekend it made $56 million. I think its third weekend is bigger than all of Warner Brothers like opening weekends, and that's like Dune and Godzilla vs Kong and stuff like that, Suicide Squad. So I think they just got burned by. Even if they would have made like the Spider-Man No Way Home money, I think they would have been like, man, we could have made a little bit more money with people not having to sit at home or pirate it or whatnot. So I really don't think they're going to do the HBO Max thing again. And I think they've actually signed an agreement that they can't. But I think even in the future that I think they won't. It was an experiment. They tried it. And I applaud them for trying it. I really do. I thought it was great. I always said I think it was too bold to do the whole year off the bat. They should have done 6 months and went, okay, let's see how it goes. But they were bold. They did the whole year. And I think it's great, especially in the times where it gave us content, gave people content. But I think it burned them way too much, So, yeah, I will take I'll be the lone guy on the island. I just can't buy in this theory yet because Okay, here's a follow-up question I had, Taylor. What would you do if someone were to tell you that all the Spider-Man, and I don't know this is not set for you, but what if it was like a Sony idea, not a Kevin idea? What if we did Spider-Verse, because they did Spider-Verse without MCU and Kevin, right? Oh, we loved that, so we're going to do the Spider-Man in live action. Can you help us get there,
So it was a Sony idea to bring in Tobey and Andrew?
Yeah.
And, sorry, what do you want? You want my opinion on if that were the case?
Well, yeah.
What do you want from me?
Because you're saying in your pitch was like Sony's like, oh, I don't know if that would work. I don't know, make money. Like, because I'm trying to think about like if it was their idea, then Sony would have some good ideas, as Phelps says. If it was their idea, I guess then I'd be more freely accepting of like this rumor or theory being true, because it's just so weird. Like, okay, we have a movie ready to go in a few weeks. Let's delay it 2.5 months and just go shoot some random stuff with the Amazing Spider-Man universe or Andrew to work it in there. And even then, like, I don't know if I
think that's what fits with it though. Like Sony on its own when it comes to their MCU is so uncohesive, it feels like, and just mishmash. And now this just fits right into the ploy.
No, it doesn't.
It does, because it's so mishmash. It's like they're just like shoehorning something in there. I feel like it's a Sony MO for what they're doing with the MCU, that it actually, in some weird way, it makes sense and fits. So,
Yeah, I guess. And I guess I just feel like if Andrew is coming back, I don't think Morbius is the place. I'm not talking about the whole Morbius or anything. I just feel like it's strange that, okay, let's just get an end credit scene with him in there. But I guess maybe if you want to ride off the hype, you don't get that now at the release date. But I don't know. I don't buy it. I'm going to make the prediction. And I swear if the media just asks Andrew and over, are you in Morbius? And he says no one's going to believe him this time because of what happened. But I really don't think Andrew Garfield or any Spider-Man people will be in Morbius that weren't already planned to be in Morbius. That's what I'll say. I don't think they added the Andrew Garfield stuff because I still think they need to do some. You're right that they could just say, oh fuck it, we're just gonna put him in there. But I don't know. I don't buy it. It seems like us the internet theory crafting. It feels like willing in existence, and that's fine. I do want it. I want to see Andrew again. But let's see. Post-credit scene is connecting to the New Mutants delayed cinematic universe. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see those New Mutants ever again, S-Bubs. But yeah, we'll see. Let's take an ad break, and we'll be right back with some more movies. And we're back. So I tried to look into some of these while you guys were talking, but then I kind of got pulled in the conversation. So there's like The Contractor. It's a movie about Pine being discharged as a Marines, and he joins an organization to support his family the only way he knows how. That sounds boring for me. I'm sorry. I have no interest in that. Easter Sunday. Is this going to be a Jesus movie? Set around okay, no, it's not. Set around the family gathering to celebrate Easter Sunday. The comedy will be based on Joe Coe's life experience and stand-up comedy. So if you like Joe Coe, there you go. And then there's You Won't Be Alone. Is this a horror movie or a romance movie?
This poster looks terrifying.
Oh, fuck. And it's Naomi Rapace, too. So there you go. What is the plot? Ansel Elgort.
Set in an isolated mountain village in the 19th century in Macedonia. You Won't Be Alone follows a young girl who is kidnapped and then transformed into a witch by an ancient spirit. Ooh. Curious about life as a human, the young witch accidentally kills a peasant in a nearby village and then takes her victim's shape to live life in her skin. Ooh.
Jesus Christ, that sounds
Kirklin,
great.
you want to watch it with us?
It looks spooky. It reminds me of The Witch.
Why have a trailer that consists of quick edits? I understand no spoilers, but
the comments are always great.
Yeah, I want Australian filmmaker Goran Stelvotsky making his debut. Okay, well, hopefully it's another one that we love. I still got to see Goat or Lamb. I have not got to see it yet. The movie where she has a kid that has the lamb head. I still have to see that for that. But any of those movies I shout out, obviously we talk about You Won't Be Alone, maybe except for that, but anything else?
Nope.
April 8th, you got a banger weekend of Ambulance and Sonic the Hedgehog. We'll let Kirkland go first with his boy, Michael Bay.
The boy. Michael Bay.
No,
yeah.
I'm joking. Yeah. Sonic.
Well, with Ambulance, I already saw basically the whole movie with that trailer.
Oh, no, you didn't. Does Jake Gyllenhaal and Yaya get arrested?
Fucking, I bet Jake Gyllenhaal dies.
But they didn't show you that. They didn't show you that.
I have very little interest in that, and that even scratches my action movie vibe, and I know I can't get Shay to even go see a good action movie with me, so I think I'm out on that one. Sonic the Hedgehog, though, that is now my pace. I'm very excited for that movie. Not sure if it lands in my top 5 or not, but I'm very excited for that movie. I rewatched the trailer with like my niece and nephew when they were here over the Christmas break, and they were super pumped on it.
Stop showing us this, Uncle Kurt. No, you're gonna really like
Sonic,
it. Trust me.
Sonic has some good memories in my household. You know, me and my sister playing Sega Genesis. It's great. No, it's good. I'm excited to see Tails in there now with Knuckles, and like, say what you will about the quality of the movies. I think the animation behind the characters are so well done, and you know, there's a lot of memes with the prototype version of the characters, but they did such a good job at animating those characters. They look so good. All the effects is awesome. So Sonic is easily top 10. See, if we're doing top 10, maybe it's on my list.
Yeah, but that's the problem, I suppose. Is it easily top 5? I bet it's not, fucker. I bet you don't got it in there. I don't give it on the top 5. What about you, Taylor?
I mean, I got a soft spot for Michael Bay. I mean, he at a time in my life, he was there for me for
Sweaty Girls,
five
Transformers.
very impactful films in my life.
I hope I can meet a girl on a motorcycle just like that.
There's a time where I used to hope that my Nissan Maxima would transform into a car, just like the Michael Bay films.
I didn't hear that.
I thought you said niece. Your niece.
I was so
My niece and
I was sure it's the
Maxima.
time I'd see my niece on a motorcycle. It's like, man, the correlating stories of Kirklin being like, I showed my niece the Sonic trailer, Taylor being like, yeah, I got a hot fucking niece on this motorcycle, man. I was having problems.
Oh my
Michael Bay was
God.
putting ideas in my head, Mom. Jesus, take the wheel. Help me,
Oh,
Jesus.
no.
Pray the niece away.
God. Anyway, that's for Sonic. Yeah, I love that first Sonic movie. I love that Jim Carrey's in there. I was really caught into the whole Sonic kind of realm of what was going on. Just like when we got that first trailer, when we saw Sonic at first, it was like, well, this is rough, but I really wanted to like that film. And when they went back, I just commended and like major props and kudos to the studio that went back and worked on redesigning
Yeah.
him. The fact that they got Shaft, I was after like fucking rip. That's so shitty. That's so super shitty. But they did it for the fans, and I think it spoke volumes because what they did paid off, got them a sequel. I'm so anticipated for this film. Like, I'm super jazzed on it. Yeah, we got Tails, we got Knuckles. And again, I feel like me going out and buying a hard copy of Sonic the Hedgehog, in stores, I feel like that added to the pool, the pot of them. Like, we're
Those
getting
last
that
few
sequel.
dollars.
Oh,
Last
yeah.
few dollars they needed.
Bumped them
to
over,
get
We need
yeah.
5 more. Oh, Taylor's bought a copy for his niece. But either way, so like I did not. I liked the first one enough. Not really liked it. I think I just more hate that everyone says it's the greatest video game movie of all time. And if it is, then man, we got some low fucking bars. I know we do, but it's like that's not it, fam. That's not it. Detective Pikachu's not it either. It's Tomb Raider.
I think the
Or
fact
it's
that it
Mortal Kombat.
it has a sequel is what puts
Tomb
it
Raider.
ahead over several other video game films.
Well,
'cause
speaking
the other
of Michael
ones
Bay,
don't.
money does not equal quality, Taylor Field. So but then again, you
Sequels
like the
do.
Venom movies. Well,
Leads
yeah.
to success.
Yeah, it's a success for sure. And that's part of me that I do hate that it was a success because they did like switch Sonic around. Then they got rid of that studio, and I was just like, man, if you would have just listened to them all before and like just made this the original way. But as I said when we saw it, I was actually getting excited for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I don't know why. It was something about that trailer. I think it was just seeing him like.
Knuckles. It's probably Knuckles.
Yeah, I think it was
No,
seeing him, like, with other
Shadow's
power
coming.
sets.
He's coming soon if we get that third one.
That's
So.
the third one. Oh
No,
yeah.
it's definitely not. I like Shadow enough, but it's definitely Knuckles, So I just like we're seeing them like fight with different power sets and whatnot, like similar ones. So I think I'll try to have a good enough time. I'll take Gwen too, and that'll probably make the experience better. Ambulance, I am very low key excited about because Michael Bay is very hit or miss for me. I'm hoping this is a hit. I'm hoping this is Armageddon, The Rock. I'm hoping it's Pain and Gain, and I like again probably any director doing a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Yaya together, I would be there. And I think the movie looks great. I know Kirklin says it spoils everything. I don't think it spoils everything. And Jake Gyllenhaal just looks like he's fucking chewing the scenery up, and I love that. So, Taylor Field GeekVerse podcast will show your true quality.
Well, I was gonna say something. Maybe I redact it, but originally I thought you guys were both praising this movie, and I feel like you guys are kind of a little bit lower. Yeah, a little bit lower.
No, I'm
on
really
the-
excited for it. Kirkland's shitting all over it. I don't know what his
Oh,
problem
okay.
is, but
Maybe there was like a teaser trailer where it didn't show much, and it's like, oh, this could be interesting. And then I saw the movie, so now I don't have to.
it does show a lot. But yeah, I wonder if they cast. who
There's
they
so
cast
many
as-
plot twists in the trailer. Like, I feel like there's at least 2.
I'm there for the acting, But I wonder who they'd cast as Shadow. Says I suppose Keanu casting with 2 be on the nose, or be 2 on the nose, in my opinion. Absolutely not. You can get Keanu all day long and stuff, but it doesn't
Shadow?
matter. S-Bub's like, does it really fucking matter who we're gonna cast
I
as
think Dave
Shadow?
Batista would be good as Shadow.
David
to be
Batista,
honest.
but it's
Oh,
just like
nice.
it's just
Again,
a
farther away.
voice, and it's just for Shadow. It's like whatever. But anything else in those 2 films? Going once, going twice.
Nope.
Oh fuck! The week after that is Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore, and then we got 13 Lives. This has to be a comedy, right? 13 Lives. I'm clicking on it right now to see because
Oh no, that's about the boys trapped in the Thailand flood.
okay.
Colin
was-
Farrell, Viggo Mortensen, and Joel Egerton.
That's who's in the movie.
Yeah.
That's a stat cat. Oh no, I would really watch it. I thought you said it's directed by Ron Howard. Absolutely. Let me see this movie instead of Fantastic Beasts. Fuck. Yeah, no, that's okay, perfect. So I didn't know 13 Lives. I'm excited for 13 Lives now. Good lineup of actors and great directors. So even though I think Ron Howard has not really had a great movie in quite a while, people always think he should direct a Star Wars movie, but I don't know if that would be a thing.
Oh,
So,
here we go.
Wow, Travis, what a comedy. I didn't know. It just sounded like a comedy or something, all right? But
Just don't go in there laughing in the theater when you see it.
Fantastic Beasts. So it's very funny, right? So we had the Harry Potter reunion special come out this weekend, and on Crave, all the Harry Potter movies, not all of them, but like they're trending. Me and Emily and the kids were doing the marathon of watch them all. And it's just so sad when you think about like where it is now. You see all this magic and you see they have these films and just how they're just fucking, like, I shouldn't have said fucking yet because they're just skull fucking the franchise. They're just ruining it film by film. They're letting David Yates and J.K. Rowling poison it with their bad directing and their bad script writing. And here we are in the third one. This sounds bad because my boy Mads Mikkelsen in it, and I hope he got paid. But I want this to go down in a fiery flames. I want this to be the last one. I don't, because they say they're making 2 more. I don't want any more. I know people go like, "Oh, you don't have to see it." No, I don't. This is fully me. I'm gonna see it because Mads Mikkelsen. That's legitimately the reason. These guys can vouch for me because with JK and the movies, like, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna see the third one. I make it a point that I will see almost anything with Mads because I think he's one of the greatest actors of all time. It's just like Mads gets me in there. Will he be wasted like Doctor Strange? Maybe. Again, Kevin Feige, one of his worst decisions is he cast Mads Mikkelsen and wastes him with Caecilius. That's what I'm hoping for. Reviews will tell me that maybe he's not into that much, but I think it's just, it sucks. And I think Harry Potter somehow is in a worse place than Star Wars was after the prequels and Lord of the Rings was after The Hobbit. I feel like it's a combination of the movies are bad and then it's a combination of like the creators like a complete, I won't say asshole, but just like punching down a lot when you don't really need to be. Like when you have these amounts of money, and it's just like it's a difficult situation all around. And to throw it, if you don't want to talk about politics and wokeness, whatever, the movies just aren't good. They're just not good. They're Jessica, like, I feel like when we did the review, Taylor wasn't on, it was me, Dylan, Jessica, and Emily, and I feel like they were both like, oh yeah, it's fine, but as time separated, I know Jessica does not like them. Emily, like a few weeks ago, referred to them as trash, which I would never think she would do for these Harry Potter movies, and I don't think the whole fan base is like that, but that definitely feels like the sentiment of, man, these movies are just, it just sucks that they just don't capture, pun intended, the magic. So I am a 50-50 of seeing this. I might, like, I mean, for at least in time for the review, but it's one of those, I want to do bad, and I guess maybe I shouldn't see it. Maybe I should talk myself out of seeing it. I'll watch the Mads movie eventually, so maybe I should just do that, because I want to do bad, and I want them to stop, and I want them to do Curse's Child, like, whatever, a few decade or something like that right now. So, yeah, any thoughts on 13 Lives or Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore? Stupid title again. Stupid title.
Yeah, I have pretty low interest on both of these movies. The thing with the Harry Potter, like, I don't think I'll ever get like tired of just watching like the original movies. The first Fantastic Beasts was one of the first date movies Shay and I actually went on, which is kind of funny, and I don't remember much of the movie. I don't think I've seen the second one, and this third one, like, the best part about the trailer was like the nostalgia of like Hogwarts and stuff. And I know it's bad because like my sister is like Emily, like Jessica, like she's a hardcore Harry Potter fan, and even she, I don't even, like, I think maybe I've seen the last one. She doesn't really speak highly of it, so it's. I agree with you. It's weird whenever you want something to fail, but I feel like if it really does fail, it'll be a good opportunity to just wipe the slate clean, start with a fresh canvas, because Harry Potter as a franchise, even if you don't want to call it Harry Potter, just like the Wizarding world as a franchise, like it's great. There's a lot of great material that you can pull from and make some really good new storylines, or maybe you want to go with the Cursed Route Child. The Cursed Route Child.
Yeah.
The Cursed
Child
Route.
That's in the next book. Yeah. The Cursed Route Child.
So if you want to go that route, like let's do it. But I feel like maybe they need like a stark awakening of just oh my god, okay, this franchise is done.
Well, even then they said they were doing some sort of series for HBO Max. I feel like I don't know. It was very like this is all the time. Same thing as the Harry Potter reunion. Like none of the JK footage is new. It's all like from 2019. They're like, oh, she had nothing else to add to it more. I was like, all right, sure. But like, I don't think with the show it's been said if JK's writing or not. I have to check. But even then, it's like, well, let's do the show. But for me, and again, this went all the way back to Fantastic Beasts. My whole thing with JK has nothing to do with what like her comment stuff like that doesn't help, but for me it just doesn't help that she's the screenplay writer on these, and I think it's just shown that you can't a screenwriter can't always go do a book and vice versa, and I think it's really hurt that it's just her doing these things and they have the same director every time, and that's why I feel like the only reason they have the same director is just so she can maybe kind of boss them around a little bit and like we're gonna do it this way, where get some like that was the best thing about the Harry Potter original ones is like the first four there's the first two with Chris Columbus, and then it was Alfonso Cuarón, and then you had Mike Newell, and then it's just like you had David Yates. You had all these different voices bouncing off and stuff, and I don't know, Taylor, where are you? Because I feel like you're pretty similar. So,
well, again, like you, Harry Potter movies. We just finished our marathon for them. Those films are just so iconic. I mean, they didn't have any new movies playing in the theater, but they were just playing old reruns. But like me and Madison, we did all the Harry Potter movies in the theaters, because they were replaying them. It was just such a fantastic time, and it's hard to top that. And you're absolutely right when you have, I mean, I'm more disagreeable with you on the sense of Star Wars and the prequels, but then with Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, that makes sense, and just what they're trying to fandangle. But at the end of the day, this should have never have been more than one film. I think you're not going to be able to match what you did with Harry Potter because you have a generation that grew up with those films and grew up with the characters in the movie franchise. So you can't recreate that unless you redo it altogether. But redo it after the generation that loves those movies is dead. That way you're not going to be stepping on toes. But what they should do now. Oh, Kirklin's just out of here. I offended him, I guess.
Yeah, he's really mad at your comments.
Yeah. I feel like what you need to do is just do a couple anthology films or do that Harry Potter series, like a TV show or whatnot on streaming services or whatever. I think that's the way to go about it. But I think for sure this never should have been more than one film. The only time I was excited in Fantastic Beasts, the second one, was when they went to Hogwarts and we got that Hedwig's theme that jump started, and I was like, oh shit, this is just like a wave of emotion that just hit me. I'm super jazzed on this, but I don't know, it's gonna be interesting to see how this one goes.
Yeah, I was just looking to update that series because this was reported in January of last year, so this was literally a whole year ago that they said it was happening, but then HBO and them said it wasn't true, and they said like JK owns all the rights. So that's the thing where it's just like if you do anything, she's gonna be involved, and then yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Reboot Harry Potter. Well,
Don't.
Well, no, okay. I will say this right now because U.S. Clay from After 9, which is coming back in the next few weeks. He had a question, and we'll do this question right now. He said, "What book or video game would you like to see adapted into a film or movie or TV show and whatnot?" Now, I have other ones, but I've always said this. It will happen. I think it will happen, or it should happen. They should redo Harry Potter, but they should do it as a TV series because there's so many. I watch this all the time with him, and there's so many times where she tells me that there's new facts all the time because I've never read the books. Like, oh, this happened in the books. It happened this way. It's like, oh, that'd be cool, and not even the change up. It's just like things they just completely leave out. We just did what was it? Goblin, like all the stuff about like the Crouch and Crouch Jr. and stuff like that. Like, there's so much stuff that's not in the movies at all where it's like, oh man, like the Quidditch World Cup tour. So I legitimately think one day they can do like each season a book, like the same way Game of Thrones, and that way it's like it's not rebooting it. It's kind of like a different telling of the story because you're hitting facts you couldn't do before. I would love that if they did that with Lord of the Rings, because I think if you just do films, yeah, then it's like, okay, very similar, you're just going to do the books. But if you go, hey, we're going to do a TV series, this would cover everything that we couldn't do in movies because of time. Here we go. So that's my one. My other one is Star Fox because we got the Mario Cinematic Universe popping off, so I want that. And then have you guys ever read the book series Time Warp Trio? There's about 3 boys that would always like time travel and whatnot. It's a children's book. Really, really want that. I one of the few books I did read as a child. that was it, and I really liked that series. So that was my 3. But Taylor, would you be fine with a Harry Potter TV series, or are you just even against that? You're just like, no, you can't do it, can't touch it. No more, no new Snape, no more Dumbledore. Because you were like that with Lord of the Rings when I pitched it.
So when you said Harry Potter TV series, like focusing on those characters?
Yeah, like you tell the books, Philosopher's Stone, all the way to Deathly Hallows, but it's a series instead of a movie. So like, let's say it's each season's 8 episodes, and it's about one book. So you got like 7 seasons.
I feel like there'd be a lot of potential for it. I wouldn't be against it. I think there's so many things like you had mentioned in the Triwizard Tournament that were not, attached in the film. Like especially, I know there's a lot of debate over the whole maze aspect from that, where there's so many other things in the maze that were not highlighted in the movie, and that's something that could be showcased in a series. So absolutely, I do think there's justification with that. But at the end of the day, I think it wouldn't be like the go-to right now. I think what they should focus on is just like, they shouldn't be doing more Fantastic Beasts films. They should do another anthology film. Like, I'd love like a movie of like Tom Riddle at Hogwarts just fucking shit up, and you have like Dumbledore in there and certain familiar characters, but just Tom Riddle when he's younger, just some interesting things. Maybe he's doing some really dark shit, and he's like, we see him do his first Horcrux or his first murder, and then just leave it at that. Like, I think there's some cool factors that they could do in this universe. So,
Kirkland, where are you?
On.
Well, I guess,
I guess you did.
Well, I was gonna say on Harry Potter, but I guess Taylor, you didn't give your answer the Clay questions of like a movie or TV adaptation you want this year. Or now, he said just announced that could be getting, because obviously there's lots of stuff with like Witcher and Wheel of Time and stuff, like any book or video game you're itching for.
I'm itching for the Assassin's Creed, to be honest, and that's been dead in the
already.
Yeah, but it's been dead in the air. Like, fuck. I mean, other than that,
it's the Ash.
Yeah, I mean, it's
good one.
I would love.
That's for you, Christopher.
I would love something that's. I mean, it's tricky because I feel like
my
I'm
go-to
getting
answer
everything.
is always Fallout, yeah, and then it's like, oh, Amazon's doing that now, so it's like,
well, like I default like I would love more Predator. Well, I'm getting that. I'd love Alien. Yep. I'm getting an Alien series. Assassin's Creed. I mean, I'm getting Halo. I'm
Knights of Old Republic.
Knights of Old Republic. Yeah, give me that. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I feel like I'm very content with what I'm getting right now, so I don't have much I can really ask for.
Kirkland, how do you feel about a Potter series, and then what do you want adapted this year?
Yeah, Potter series, I'm okay with it. I think there was a period in my life when I thought it was weird of like taking either a movie franchise or something and just turning it into a TV series. I think in my mind I just thought, okay, let's get original here, let's get some new ideas out. But there is lots of positive stuff you can get out of doing that route. Like you guys have already mentioned, you could just deep dive into some things that we might have completely glossed over and not even touched upon at all. So I think I'm down for it. It's an excuse to just be taken back to the Wizarding World. And yeah, I'm all for it. I think a really fun way to do that is to just have it like completely detached from Harry Potter. Maybe have it like before the events of Harry Potter coming to school or something. Maybe even after, like the new era, but just like I don't want to have Voldemort or something in the show. I want it to be really just different from what the movie series would be, and the show's not even happening. But here I'm talking to him, so
yeah.
You'd have to what? Sorry,
you'd have to have Voldemort though at some point, right?
We're not naming him, so yeah, like he can be in the world, maybe like touched upon, but I don't want that to be our main thread of like season 1. We just dispatched Voldemort with like these two Hufflepuff kids.
Umbridge's years at school.
You gotta go in the order of the books. You gotta start with philosopher and work your way over there. You can't just go to Umbridge.
I guess what I was pitching was kind of detached from the books, so that doesn't even go with what you were pitching there. So
well, you're sounding like you're more
you
like
could
Clay.
do it.
They should focus just on Hogwarts and not the magic world.
Exactly.
When it comes to a series, follow someone like Snape or Sirius Black, or even go further. Well, I've always said that. I think lots of people have said that. For me, I'm surprised they've never done the prequel of James, Lily, Sirius, and Snape. Like, there's all those dynamics there. Like, I feel like, especially fucking James Potter, that's Squine. I think that there is potential in showing that off, because you don't even have to play it as its own thing. You could kind of play it as like, oh, it is kind of a prequel to the movies and stuff. So I'm surprised they haven't done that. So
are you on the bandwagon of you want Adam Driver as young Snape?
I think it'd be too distracting now, but I wouldn't be against it, but I also don't think like I think it's kind of the same way I always say this quote that Heath Ledger accepted the Joker because they said, "Oh, you're going to be a no Joker." And he's like, "Oh, good, because if they would ask me to do Jack Nicholson's Joker, I could never do that." I think Adam Driver, if it is like a new Snape, then sure, because it's kind of similar, but he could do his own spin. If they're like, "You're going to be young Alan Rickman," I don't really see that. Like they're very different, just even look wise, you know. So, but I would be down, you know. So make him a young Tom Riddle. That's why, you know, make him young Voldemort. They have very similar hairstyles. So Kirkland, what do you want adapted this year?
Yeah. So something adapted, or I mean. My first one off the top would be some like more Lord of the Rings stuff. I know we're getting the Lord of the Rings show and it's attached to Amazon, so I'll give a different answer. There's so many stories to dive into, but I'm happy with the one show coming out. The other one that I would pitch is I'm not sure if you guys read them. They were pretty popular around the Scholastic Book Fair for at least my grade, but the Bone series, it was a graphic novel. I think it'd be so fun to just either transfer those into. You could do a movie. I'd prefer a TV show. I think it would make more sense to do a movie because you could just focus more on like the animation, really polish it up, and I think it's a popular enough name that it would get a lot of people my age at least into it, and maybe some what would that be called? The young teens, preteens, like that era of kids. I think they'd be really interested in it, and there's just a lot of good. Like stories, Shay has like all of them in collection, so I was reading through them a bit, and like the storylines are actually like really good, and the lore is really fun to tackle. I think that would be a fun one to get just bring back in the limelight, because it was like when I was young and we had this classic book fair, that was like the main thing people were interested in it, and I guarantee there's many more that are interested in it as well. So I think that one makes sense. I don't know what the rights are, like who owns those. Kirklin, I legit thought you were going to pitch a reboot of Animorphs. The fuck's Animorphs?
You don't know what Animorphs
Oh,
are? Wow.
Wow, Kirkland's gonna be canceled. How do you not
Animorphs.
know?
The books of like teens like staring awkwardly at you, and then they start turning into some sort of animal.
Yeah, you flip the pages and it shows them like morphing. Oh,
Wow. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely don't make that a show. But I'm surprised you didn't know about that. Wow.
it was a show at one point, I believe. I think
Was
they
it?
had a live action series for it. They
Interesting.
did. Oh, it's so bad.
Animorphs culture. Wow, that's crazy. Fuck. There's
That's
What?
funny. Fanboy Clay reminded me. Bring back Reboot, that show, that great Canadian
Oh,
TV
Reboot's
show.
so good.
Yeah. Let's get an updated graphics of that one, because the graphics at the time, I remember there was like whatever era it was, early 2000s. It was like, oh my god, look at this
90s.
animation. It was it 90s? Okay.
I feel like it's
94.
90s. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
there you
94.
go. I was watching that shit when I
It's
was
like
a young wee
it's like
lad.
3D animation, so nice, but like now it's fucking terrifying, the graphics
Yeah.
that they used in that, but you know, times.
Uh,
What movie are we on now?
We're on The Bad Guys, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and The Northmen. Wow, what a fucking week. I don't know. I know we're going to talk about the other two. What's The Bad Guys? Oh, it's the animated thing. Actually, this looks
With
kind
the
of
wolf,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah, this looks kind of funny. So I had not watched the Northmen trailer till today. Reboot was rebooted into live action. Reboot was it? They did a live action reboot? I think I heard about this. I heard it was awful. I heard.
Yeah, well,
But,
I think
like,
we talked about that, Kirkland,
Yeah.
at one point.
Let's get some bigger budgets on that next reboot, you know? So, I knew we'd be talking about this. The Northmen. Now, this is a movie that I already was excited because you got Robert Eggers, who's directed The Witch, and then he directed our favorite, The Lighthouse. So he makes some weird shit. Not all of it hits for me, but like we love that weird stuff here. I love when people get nuts. I love the artsiness of it. That's my artsy fartsy stuff coming out. And so the cast is phenomenal. That's one. It's Robert Eggers. But I'd not actually seen the trailer till today. I'm very excited for the movie, but I watched because of this. Man, it looks good. Now, it's funny because I feel like they're trying to trick people because I feel like they're pitching this as a very big, like, action revenge sort of movie. And I'm sure that is the plot of, Skarsgård is going to try and go get revenge on the guy that killed his dad. But there's a few shots of him, like, kind of half sleeping, and he's like a girl, like, screaming at him. That's going to be the movie. The movie's going to be, like... I feel like the movie's majority gonna be the trippy, weird stuff and not the action. And looking great. Skarsgård looks like he's in great shape now. I do hope this kind of does what Lighthouse did for Robert Pattinson for these two, because I was like, oh, Pattinson's a great actor, and then after saw Lighthouse, everyone like agreed. Skarsgård to me has never been phenomenal. I've never seen him be like, man, he's a damn good actor. So I hope that happens. But Willem Dafoe, Anna Taylor-Joy, like it's gonna be stacked. But yeah, this trailer looks intense, and I can't wait. This is I don't know if it's gonna get in the top 5, but it's definitely a top 10 or it's close. But I can't wait to see the Northmen. But again, I preface this. I was surprised how kind of mainstream this trailer felt, and I feel like the movie will not be like that if his past work is anything to go by. But Kirklin, how do you feel about the Northman?
Yeah, no, I'm super excited about this one. Just Anya Taylor-Joy attached to anything that gets my interest, and I really like the trailer. Willem Dafoe looks like he's plucked straight out of the Lighthouse. That shot of just him like in the cave, and he's got those crazy wide eyes that he has. It's just it looks messed up, and I agree with you. This trailer definitely feels a lot more. I don't know what would be marketable. Absolutely. Yeah. What was that movie with Leo? The one he got an Oscar on?
The Revenant.
That's kind of what I was getting vibes from, where it feels a lot more mainstream, like audience, like that type of trailer. But I hope it leans more into like the psychological or heady type aspect, and those are usually movies I tend to like these or like more nowadays. And cast looks great. Everything in the trailer looked phenomenal, honestly. Like the action looked good, the costume design, everything. Anya Taylor-Joy. So I'm excited for this one. It might break the top 5. Honestly, I'm very excited for this one. I've seen the trailer a couple times now, and it's just I think it's right up my alley.
Hayfield.
I mean, I'm ready to go to Valhalla. Let's get into this. So like, it just gave me awesome medieval like vibes, like Vikings and stuff. I'm all for it. And yeah, Skarsgård looks like he's on a path of redemption. It's gonna get a little wacky, a little cuckoo, but I'm all for it. Like, I want to see him get vengeance.
Okay. How do you feel about the movie also coming out that weekend? It's a banger weekend. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That is the Nick Cage. Don't tell me his name because I want to get it. Pedro Pascal. And it is a movie where Nick Cage is playing himself for the first time ever. I'm surprised it's taking this long, but he's playing himself. He needs 600. Very like similar to life, where he just needs some money. He needs to do something. So he will be paid $1 million to go to this Uber fan's birthday. I don't really know what the plot is. It doesn't really give us much other than some weird stuff's going to go down. But the movie Nick Cage said he'll never watch. Yeah, I heard he was like, he almost didn't like playing himself. I feel like, from judging from the trailer, because I hadn't watched it, I feel like he kind of be like, well, this isn't me. But like, I feel like it kind of is, especially just on the jokes. But Taylor, what are you feeling about this one? I feel like this is right. Like, this has to be. I'd be so surprised it's not in your top 5.
This one's real. Like, it's really up there. I need to watch it to see where it'll land in that top 5. But I'm.
You need to watch the movie and then retroactively go back and say it was one of my most anticipated.
No, I need to watch it to know where to put it in the top 5. It's just such a. I think it's just gonna be such a delight. Like, seeing that fourth wall broken and Nick Cage playing himself. Like, I feel like it's different because we're used to the quirky, weird way of like Nick Cage acting like insane. But in this sense, like, he's just, I feel like, okay, he's acting like himself, but is he acting like himself in the real world, or is he acting like how he thinks himself is? Like, what is more flamboyant here? Like, what is real? What is exaggerated? Then I just have a few questions about that, but at its core, I just know I'm going to enjoy this for what it is. I really found it very humorous and just kind of like cute, I'd say, like the relationship he's forming with Pedro Pascal. Like, I love that scene when they're like going over the wall. It's so like bland, but it's just really kind of checked that humor box for me. And just when he like gets off on the dock, like, I can't remember what he says, like the name of Pedro Pascal's character was like, oh, you want me to like make sex with his wife or whatever while he watches or something like that. Like, I'm not doing any of that. Nada. And he's just like, no, that's me. And he's like, this is like, it just seems so outrageous. I can't wait. And especially get to that museum part where Pedro Pascal's got like the statues of Nick Cage in his movies. It's just going to be so good. I hope we can actually do like a comm track of that actually together.
You're pitching all these comm tracks,
Yeah.
Kirklin.
Yeah, this is a movie I never could have thought it would actually happen. Nick Cage, about himself and a super fan. It's pretty wacky. I would love to commentary track with you guys on this one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about it because it's weird, and if it's fitting that it's Nick Cage, and yeah, I don't know. I'm open to being pleasantly surprised about it, that maybe it's really, really good. I'm not getting vibes from the trailer about that, but I could be surprised.
You're getting vibes that's not really good. That's the vibes you're getting?
I'm not getting vibes that it's really, really good. So it doesn't mean I'm necessarily getting vibes that it's bad. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just unsure on how to feel about this one. The trailer made me laugh a few times. Pedro's in there, so that's always good, and of course the main man, Nick Cage himself. So
yeah. Well, let's take an ad break before we get into some big ones right here. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So this movie kind of depresses me a little because I'm very excited. It's an Adam Driver movie. It's called 65. An astronaut crash lands on a mysterious planet, only to discover he's not alone. The only reason that depresses me is because I wrote like a space astronaut movie once. I was like, man, I'd love to cast Adam Driver in this role. That's no longer ever going to happen in my life now if I make that movie, because I feel like this is going to be his one astronaut role. So I missed it. So we'll have to find someone else for that. But
maybe this is him finding his niche. He's like, I'm just gonna do astronaut movies now. It was so fun to film.
Star Wars? No, it has to be astronaut specifically. And then after that is we go into May. Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Not going to talk about that. I don't know what the fuck that is. I'll look it up after. But Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Obviously, we'll probably have some D+ stuff on the way, but this is the MCU's first movie. There's going to be a big drought in there because No Way Home is quite a while, but obviously I feel like this has a lot more hype because people really like Doctor Strange in Endgame, but then at No Way Home as well. They really like the concept of the multiverse and things popping off and stuff in it. So I think No Way Home has just helped this movie out. Not that it needed help, but I think it's helped it out like tremendously. Like the excitement for this movie. I think people with the idea of multiverse, and there's so many rumors. I'm trying to avoid them. We're not even covering them on all cast, but like scoopers are popping off with stuff that I guarantee isn't even real, but there's just like supposedly lots of cameos in this movie, which I think could be fun. I still think you got to service the story, but even then we look at the trailer, like we're seemingly like the villain of this movie is fucking Strange Supreme from What If, and there's rumors of a third variant with a ponytail and he's gray hair. Like there's so much stuff going on right now, and it's very interesting. So I'm excited for this movie for all those reasons, but the main reason I'm excited is because that's going to be the next time we see the Queen of the MCU back, Wanda, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. I do hope that they play off the more villainous or darker side of her. I know people go back and forth like, oh, she might be the villain of the movie. I would absolutely love that. I don't think she needs to be a villain where she's going to be the next fucking Thanos or something, but I'm very excited to see like what she's going to do now, because I feel like that character of Wanda is just so much advanced from where she was like in Endgame and Infinity War. So I think this movie is going to be tons of fun, and I'm looking very forward to it because it's also Sam Raimi directing. I love Sam Raimi for the majority of stuff. He's made some bangers for me, so he's made some stuff that I really enjoy and go back to. So, and I was somebody that didn't love the first Doctor Strange. I think there could have been lots of improvement to it. So I'm looking very forward to this. We have a question that links up to this with a certain writer, but leave that for the end, Taylor Field. What do you think about just this movie right now? It's coming up in May.
Yeah, this film I'm ecstatic for, like super, super jazzed for. I've been waiting. Like I love that original Doctor Strange film. It's really, really awesome. And I actually I've been waiting for a sequel. We've only gotten Doctor Strange in other mediums, but he's been great in those. But to have him in his own feature film at last, it's going to be fantastic. Doctor Strange, Wanda, all those characters like are fantastic and great. But like you have your main reason, which is the Queen of the MCU. My main reason for this movie is right here. There you go.
I literally
That's-
told him. I literally said, hold the writer till the end, and he's just throwing images of the writer.
Did you say
know?
that? I just totally phased over that. I was just thinking
lit-
Rider.
Save that, because we got a Patreon question about the writer. But, yeah, Kirkland, thoughts on Multiverse Madness?
Super excited. Seeing somebody just got me even more excited. And yeah, I'll leave it there.
So Maddie asked, because this is good that he asked. Last week we didn't do a newscast, but there's a bunch of stuff that there's a report put out that Ghost Rider's either been cast or he's very close to being cast. That Marvel's been meeting with the actor. They're very happy about it. They're happy about it. So this happened, and then all of a sudden Norm Reedus started liking some tweets about this. He's somebody that people fan cast before, but he started liking some tweets. Now, in the past, I would have said, that is someone trying to create a campaign for themselves. That is someone just trying to, drum up excitement. So like, oh, I could get a chance to do it. But we do live in a world where Jamie Foxx on Instagram posted just a photo of the 3 fucking Spider-Man a year and a half before the movie came out. And we live in a world where he stopped doing it midway through that season, but Vincent D'Onofrio, or Donofrio, however you want to say his name, would just start liking tweets about him being in Hawkeye, and he ended up being Hawkeye. So it's one of these things where it's not out of the realm of possibility. Now, Maddie asked, who would we like to cast? I just want to go around the room and ask, what would you think about Norm Reedus? Kirk, I'll start with you because I feel like I don't know if you have much history with Norm Reedus. I don't think you were a Walking Dead guy. So do you have any kind of touchstone to you thinking this would be an exciting casting or?
Well, I've seen, I think, first 2 seasons of Walking Dead, so I got exposed
Okay.
to
There you
Norman
go.
just to see him be a dude that wears leather and would look good on a motorbike. So
Yeah.
there you go. I think that's an easy pairing. I don't know. Is this transitioning to me giving my
Sure.
picks? Yeah. I would go. This is where I would insert Keanu Reeves.
Really?
Yeah, he looks great on the motorbike. I feel like he's got already just a dark tone of talking. He's a pretty quiet guy, so I think that could fit into a role. I don't even necessarily think it has to be him on a bike. I think he could go the car version.
Robbie Reyes?
Does he have to be a Spaniard? Robbie Reyes?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Then maybe Keanu's out there. I don't know. I could just picture him wearing leather and either driving a car or a bike and just being dark. So I think it fits there. The thing with Keanu, I feel like you really want to have him just as his face. like if you have him in your movie, you're selling the face of the actor, especially with Keanu because he's just so iconic. But I don't think Ghost Rider has to be restricted to the flame head. I feel like maybe I see him being a lot more flame on version. If we're thinking that he might be a role of the Hulk, just popping in here and there.
Do you want that, Taylor? Do you want just a flame on version? No skull?
I'll save it for my thoughts.
I feel like if you have just Flaming Skull and it is, just the Hulk route, it's tough because I say, okay, maybe you don't need a big actor, but I think eventually you are going to dive into his solo, I don't know. And that's where you would have a lot more flame off versions.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just flame on version, throw Scott Eastwood in there or something. It doesn't really matter what he looks like under the flaming head.
So I'll go next because Kirkland said a few things I want to cover. I think, if they did the car, they would do Robbie Reyes. So I think they would get a Hispanic actor. I don't think they'd be Keanu's 10 ninths of a no. I think they would because I also think let's say if they did Johnny Blaze but they gave him the car, I think the fans would be like what the fuck. It'd be like if they gave Peter Parker Miles Morales suit, people lose their fucking mind. They'd be like, are you kidding me? So I think if whatever version we get, we'll stick to those characters. That's where I push against the Keanu pick because I've always said it wouldn't be him because they want to use Keanu's face, and I don't think I think Ghost Rider will be like the Hulk in the sense where Mark Ruffalo's a great actor as Banner. Mark Ruffalo didn't sell any tickets to Avengers. I really don't think so. The Hulk did. And I think maybe Mark Ruffalo, maybe now a little bit, but still it's about the Hulk, especially now they have him in, we'll see what happens, but in smart Hulk form. So I feel like you get someone like that. My pick was Scott Eastwood for that very reason, because I think so to pair this with Scott Eastwood and Norman Reedus, I think Norman Reedus would be a great pick. You know why? I think he's a decent actor. He's good, but he's not amazing. And that's the thing, you don't need an amazing actor for Johnny Blaze and Ghost Rider. You don't. You just need a guy who's cool and, will be able to show the tortured soul and then boom, he's the rider. Like I feel like we're going to see the rider a lot more than Johnny Blaze, at least earlier on. So I don't think you need a Keanu. I don't think you need a big star. I think you need someone that could be a TV level star, could be a Scott Eastwood, where I don't think Scott Eastwood's the greatest actor. Like someone like that. I think if you throw a big star or a good actor in there, like I said before, oh, we've announced Adam Driver as Ghost Rider. You'd be like, fuck, like what are you doing here? This would be like Mads Mikkelsen as Caecilius all over again, but much worse. So I feel. And Keanu, here's the thing. I think Keanu's acting matches Johnny Blaze. Because he's not the world's greatest actor, but just because he is like a bit of a bigger star, I think they might want his locks and his hair. But it wouldn't completely shock me. So Norman Reedus, I would pass. I don't know how much I believe the rumors, but again, we live in a world where celebs just kind of make that mistake and it happens. I'd be fine if I'd be like, okay, cool, it's Norman Reedus. I like him enough. So Taylor, I know you are always pitching that you want Nick Cage back, but I told you for this question that Manny asked, I threw out Nick Cage, and we threw out Norman Reedus because those were the rumors. So what would you think of Norman Reedus if that was true, these like this theory? And two, who would be your casting for the Rider?
I mean, I really enjoy Norman Reedus. Like my first experience with him was in Boondock Saints, and I absolutely loved him in that film. Both films actually. So I think that him taking up that mantle would definitely be up my alley. I would definitely support it and back it. It'd be cool to see him in that role. I think you're right. You don't need necessarily someone who needs to be like delivering it as like greatest actor of all time in that role, especially in the Multiverse of Madness. It's not Ghost Rider Multiverse of Madness. It's Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So as long as he just makes a cameo, that's all you need. You don't need him leading the charge. So I think Scott Eastwood is a good actual idea, but just like I want to avoid the meme kind of with that, and I actually was thinking more along the lines of like Liam Hemsworth.
Fuck, I thought you were about to say Leo for a sec. The way you
Leo
stuttered, I was like,
DiCaprio.
oh my
Leo.
god, Leo DiCaprio, Johnny Blaze.
No.
Sure. Liam Hemsworth. Eh?
Flame on version the whole time too. they're paying him for the body, not his face.
Liam Hemsworth. Wow, just imagine the brother. He's Thor, great franchise, and you're the writer. You know,
That'd be amazing. He's got to weigh in already. Chris is like, you know what? I got just the man for the job for Johnny Blaze. Let me call up Liam.
I'd rather than be at Miley Cyrus at that point, but fair enough. Let's see, and then after that, May 20th, we got DC League of Super Pets. I don't think we have anything to add up to this before. I'm excited because I'll go see it with my kids. More DC lore. You guys, I imagine, won't see it at all.
I'll probably see it. It looks pretty cute.
Okay.
Not
I don't
right
have
away,
kids, but I go see it still.
You gonna take it to your take your niece to it?
Take
Taylor?
my niece to see it. Yeah.
on the motorbike.
Yeah, the hot niece. May 27th. I'm calling her the hot niece, just so people know.
Yeah.
Taylor's not saying
It's gonna be a
his-
sound bite.
I've not said that at all tonight.
They're gonna pull
he
this
has not
sound
said
bite.
that. I have said Taylor's niece is hot. So
I'm
there
gonna
you
get
go.
raided. Cops are gonna break down my door.
Taylor Field. May 27th, Bob Burgers and S-Bub's Miley Cyrus is already in the MCU. You're right, she's that voice, but so is Gemma Chan, and she got a second role, so Miley can too. Let's
Who's
see.
Miley?
She's like a robot in Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the end credit scenes. She just does a voice. So there you
yes. I'm surprised I
Bob-
missed that.
Yeah, Bob's Burgers and Top Gun Maverick. Never watched Bob Burgers. I don't think it warrants a movie. I just mean the sense of like when if Family got a movie, like Simpsons would have got a movie. I don't watch Simpsons. I like it enough, but I'm like, this makes sense. It has a plethora of fans. People love this. Family Guy hasn't got a movie, and I go, why hasn't this happened? But Bob Burgers has a movie, and I go, I don't
Family Guy
understand
has
this one.
movies.
Family Guy does have movies. I'd even
Does it
say
have a
the
theatrical movie?
the Star Wars ones.
Does it
not
have a theatrical movie? Well, that's
No,
what I'm
but
asking. That's
movie-
a real movie.
well,
It's
movies
real
still
cinema,
count.
okay?
Movies
I
still
come from the
count.
Marty Scorsese camp. And
Get outta
if
here.
it's not on cinema, you cannot see Bob's Burgers on a phone or on an airplane. You need to see it in the theater.
Bullshit.
But like in Family Guy, you can't. Family Guy's not cinema, not a picture. But no, I just feel like I've met no one that's seen Bob Burgers. I have no one that talks about Bob Burgers.
You know me. That counts there. I don't talk about it because no one else brings it up. But Bob's Burgers is like one of the most. It's just such a good cultured show.
It's good cinema.
Yeah, I think
It
it
really
being
is. It's getting a real theatrical film.
I think it being a theatrical film is actually probably a pretty good idea. Like the show I highly recommend it. Like people should watch it because it's got some moments that are like a little it's just like, whoa, like a little eccentric and a little like out there. But at its
Whoa.
core, the characters are really, really funny, and a lot of the messaging in the episodes are just really well done and hilarious. It's just such a funny down to earth show at times. So I'm happy it's getting a film.
What about Top Gun Maverick?
I haven't even seen the first Top Gun.
Well, there you go. Kirklin, Bob's Burgers. Maybe we'll do retro for Top Gun if we end up seeing it. Bob Burgers and Top Gun Maverick. What you seen that weekend?
I've never watched an episode of Bob's Burgers. I think I've heard a couple people praise it, and it's funny because I only know select few. Now I know Taylor. I didn't know if this. I don't even know if he's actually seen it or he's just trying to be cool here. Just saying that he has. But I've never seen Bob's Burgers. But like the select few people that I've talked to, they're like, it's a great show. It's a great show. You should check it out. But I never have. Top Gun though, that's definitely a nostalgia movie for me. I think my dad really liked it back in the 80s, so he just got me to watch it, and I really loved it. The Danger Zone, the song, and just so many like quotes from that movie. It's just so great. I'm quite excited for that. I think I'll actually go see that with my dad. And yeah, it's a good time. Definitely won't see Shay. Shay absolutely hates Tom Cruise. It doesn't help that I made her watch Eyes Wide Shut as a Christmas movie, but nonetheless, I'm excited for Top Gun.
With the boys. Great song. Yeah, I'll see Top Gun probably. I'm glad they put it out of winter because that was always a bad slot. Bob Burgers, no, not at all. So Top Gun's not one of my like massive like favorites, but I'll see it. I love Tom, so I'll be there. I'll let Taylor lead off with this. June 10th. Jurassic World Dominion. Hopefully the end to this new franchise. We got we got Malcolm. No, I almost called Malcolm McDowell. We got Jeff Goldblum. We got Alan Grant, played by Sam Neill. We got Laura Dern mixing with the new Jurassic World cast. It's their end game in a sense. Taylor Field. I already know this is gonna be your number one movie, but tell people why you're so excited for it.
I mean, you just named off the roster right there. I mean, Sam Neill is probably, as Alan Grant, is probably one of my, probably one of my most favorite, just like film characters of all time. Again, even like favorite book characters, and just to have him come back in this film is just going to be incredible. It's going to be amazing. I was so crushed when it got bumped because I mean, if in a non-COVID world, we would have seen it already, and I'd have that under my belt. I have the steel case on my shelf, and then I would also have the 6-film like bundle edition as well on my shelf. But alas, that's gonna happen next year. But anyway, so this is just like
just a struggle of conscience Taylor had right there about not having Jurassic World Dominion on Blu-rays. Alas, it'll happen next year, I guess. Just like, well, we know, man. We know you can't buy the steel film book right now.
Yeah, it's heavy. But yeah, but yeah,
it's heavy. I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
No, I'm so excited for this film. It's gonna be an absolute wonderful time. I'm waiting on this trailer any day of the week now. But it's just I'm so jazzed on that prologue that we got. Like it's just I need this film. There's so many things that have been populating that have really made me excited for what we could see in this film, and especially just with what they've kind of dived into with the animated show Camp Cretaceous. But this movie's just been I feel like they're going to be touching upon some very authentic things in this film, so it's going to be nice because I think they're going to very much so transition from the craziness of Fallen Kingdom and some other things, but I think at its core it's going to kind of go back to what it's all about.
Now, I know there's not many things, and this wouldn't happen, but in the first 5 minutes, if they were to kill off the OG3 characters, would you fail the movie? Like, they're driving to the Chris Pratt and the crew, and a T-Rex just fucking stomps on them, and then the T-Rex moves forward, and then the credits, and then it's like Jurassic.
Well, like, it have to be done, if they're going to kill them off, it has to be done in a very specific way
first
for
5
me.
minutes.
Now,
First
Some
5 minutes.
some
They get
context.
stepped on by a T-Rex.
If it's in the first 5 minutes and it's them being stepped on, I would be very, very upset. Now, if there's some good dialogue to justify it,
Oh,
then maybe you could sell on me. But as I was driving home,
Grant in 5 minutes?
I'm gonna drop this. I'm gonna
dialogue's
drop
there.
this line. I don't think I've ever said like the greatest film of all time for me personally. I don't think I've ever said that in my whole history of podcasting. But I'm gonna drop it now because I spent probably about 17 minutes
fuck, I'm
today
scared.
thinking about this, and I think, you know what, it's time to drop it. I think Jurassic Park is probably not probably. Jurassic Park is my greatest film of all time. I'm just gonna put that out there now. So if they were to do that, because Sam Neill he's huge for me.
He'd be making those thumbnails of, you know, Colin Trevorrow
With the red eyes.
With red eyes.
Yeah. Sam Neill
Oh.
like memes all around him and stuff like that.
But yeah, if they do him dirty and do that, like you said, Travis, it would be hard. It'd be hard for me to wake up the next day. And I mean,
Fuck, this is heavy. He's contemplating life or death right now.
He's been in a deep sleep for many months.
oh. But yeah, it's just I don't think they're gonna die. I think they're gonna come out alive. So I feel confident about that. But I mean, should the fates allow it, I feel like they need to go off very ceremoniously. I want the whole fucking like parade set up for these characters. Like, it's gotta be
Yondu
good.
funeral.
Yeah.
Just dinosaurs coming, shooting fireworks off their back. When I was a boy. My God, that great soundtrack. I'm excited because the returning cast. I don't have much more excitement than that. I don't trust Colin Trevorrow as much as I could throw him. I don't know what this is going to be, but I think if you like the other movies, you'll like this. My prediction is I think Alan Grant will be the one to go. I think that he'll get the sacrificial, something will happen. But at least I think having Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard interact with the OGs, that's going to be fun. However you slice it, as long as hopefully there's some good hashtag dialogue there. So, Kirklin, what do you and Spider-Man think about it?
I was just asking him. He was whispering in my ear.
Do it.
Yeah, I think some nostalgia is always good for a movie like this. Oh, good Christ. Oh wait.
It's getting late. It's past Travis's bedtime.
How do you get a nap like
Rickies.
you fuckers?
Yeah.
Break her neck, do it.
Um,
Now he's looking right at me, Spider-Man.
he's turning.
Run, Travis, run.
Okay, so nostalgia is good for a movie like this. I absolutely despise the last movie. I've only seen it once, so I will never revisit it. But I think this one, it's
you're
got
gonna.
some
We're
more positive.
retroing it.
We'll see. Maybe I'll be busy that day.
Because you complain all the time. I wasn't on the review. We're
I
retroing
s-
every.
yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
We're retroing all the other Jurassic Park. We should announce that we are going to do retrospective. Taylor made the thumbnail like 6 years ago, so we're gonna do them all. We never reviewed Jurassic World, and I said, "Well, I'll do a fucking whatever review," because Kirkland's always like, "I wasn't on the review. You didn't even like the movie, so why'd you need to be on the review?" You know, but
Because I was
Maybe
forced to
we'll-
watch it. Because I
Maybe
thought
we'll
we were
talk
reviewing
about
it.
that on the After 9. We'll talk about that then.
yeah.
But no, not much else excitement wise for Jurassic World Dominion. No more hybrids though, so that's always good.
No more hybrids. June 17th. Oh man, a movie I did not even think could exist. Like people told me like, "What? That can't be." Lightyear. That. Okay, I also am blown right now. And then oh hell no. I don't know what oh hell no is. Someone look up oh hell no and tell
It's
me
Starring-
The description.
what is it. Tell me.
So it's starring Jack Black,
Oh no.
and the
I thought he
description
retired.
is Sherman falls in love with Will's mom.
Who's Will's mom?
We'll never know. He's the only one casted.
He's
Jack
the only
Black
one
plays
casted?
as Sherman.
Oh fuck! It's like a Eddie Murphy. It's like the farts or whatever he did in Tropic Thunder. Right? He's playing all the roles. So I will
Yeah.
not be seeing. Oh hell no! Get that. Oh hell no! I will not be seeing that. But everyone knows I'm a massive Toy Story fan. Those are just like groundwork, like film like fandom for me. Like those built me up as a kid. I love those. I got the authentic toys back there. I got shoes, like all the good stuff. Like I love Toy Story so much. I think it's like it's top of Pixar, but like so far and away that OG trilogy. So the fact that it's like, okay, we're going to be doing a movie about, you know, the Toy Story world, but not in the Toy Story world, the toys. We're doing it based on Lightyear. Oh my God, this is gonna be so much fun. I think they're gonna have lots of fun Easter eggs. Yeah, I think Ice Cube was supposed to be in this. He got removed for not getting the vaccine. He was supposed to be Buzz. Fuck, that was a big recast. But no, I can't wait if they have a Zurg. But either way, everything I've seen, like that trailer they released with the Starman music with David Bowie, fuck, it was hype. And Chris Evans gonna be Buzz. I cannot wait. And I'm not going to be greedy. Of course, do I wish they would make like a Woody and stuff? Oh, absolutely. But if this is just it makes sense to do a Lightyear. And man, this is, if you can't tell, this is probably my top 5 because this is something I never knew I needed. And then when they said they're doing it, it's like, oh my God. And it just looks fantastic. I cannot be more excited for this film. I can't wait. I really, really can't wait for Lightyear. It's, I'm 2 thumbs way up on the excitement scale. Where are you guys for Lightyear?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. I I don't even think I've seen the last Toy Story actually. I really really like the original. I've seen that movie many 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 times, and then second one I've seen a handful of times. Third one I think I've seen once. Fourth I've never seen it. So I definitely got to catch up. But
we don't have to though. This is a different Lightyear, right?
That's true. I really, really liked the Star Command movie that they had. I remember on VHS.
And a series, too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. They did have a series as well. So I really like the movie there.
Plus.
Oh, fucking, that's garbage. But well, who made it then, if not Disney?
It's Disney. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not on Disney Plus.
Strange, very strange. But no, this is really fun. I like the teaser trailer. It's just for whatever reason it didn't hit me as much as I thought maybe it would, because I did really like Star Command back in the day, and this animation looks great. We have who is it? Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think my hype will ramp up the closer we get to it. But yeah, probably a little hint here. It's not on my top 5, but I'm still really happy it's a thing. I think this is really awesome. I think it's, like Travis was mentioning, it's something I never thought would really happen. I feel like our Star Command days is kind of over just because that was so close to when the first Toy Story came out. And then fourth movie, haven't seen it. I'm assuming it's a bit of a conclusion. So like for us to dive into a whole new world with these characters is really, really fun. And you mentioned it in the past before, Travis, like the Woody one as well that we'll eventually get, hopefully, with the westernized. I think it's a great idea. Let's dive into all these toys. Maybe not Mr. Potato Head, but
Mr. Potato Man.
Mr. Potato Man.
Yeah.
Is he a man? I feel like he's just a potato.
Well, I thought you were almost going to call him a man, so. Taylor?
Yeah, I think this is fantastic. I think it's a great way to kind of expand the imagination of, you know, when kids watch Toy Story nowadays, they're going to just think like, hey, these are toys, but then it feeds that mind and that mentality of like, wow, there's so much more to this. Like, you can imagine like, hey, Buzz Lightyear is a real astronaut, and here he is in his own film. And again, the animation looks fantastic. I think what the story could entail and provide could be just absolutely awesome. Chris Evans coming in as Buzz, I think that's just wonderful. Yeah, I think it's great. Like for me, like as far as Pixar films go, I was always like Ratatouille and A Bug's Life. Those are my movies. But with Toy Story, it definitely has a very good, well-aged aesthetic to it. And I think that the fact that we're still getting the sequels for it to allow that next generation to enjoy it, but also to help kind of close off the story for the generation that grew up with those films is good. And this is definitely that nod to that generation that grew up with those films, like you, Travis, that's just like, hey, your fandom is paid off. We're doing this as like a send-off for you guys. Maybe we'll even get like a sequel.
Send-off. We'll get a sequel. This is the way to start. This is the way for them to do more Toy Story movies without doing Toy Story movies. But
I want the Rex movie.
You're getting that Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get 6 of
No
those.
hybrids.
Bug's Life. Let's take our next ad break, and then we're going to talk about the rest of the summer coming up. So we will be right back. All right, so next we have July 1st, Minions: The Rise of Gru. I'll see that. I like the Minions movies. I think I actually like the Minions Despicable Me movies more than I thought when I just saw them again recently. I also did a big jump, by the way, so we'll come back
I was
to
just
the
gonna
group.
say.
Yeah. June 24th, The Black Phone and Elvis movie. Black Phone, we talked about, I think, a few months ago. It's that horror movie from Scott Derrickson, who did Doctor Strange and did Sinister. Very excited for that. I think I'll be seeing that day one. The Elvis movies by Baz Luhrmann. So he did Romeo and Juliet and Great Gatsby. I don't care about Romeo and Juliet. I'm not a big fan of the swords being guns and all that type of fucking shit that was going on. But I loved Great Gatsby. So I will check this out at some point, maybe. And Shotgun Wedding we can completely skip. So you guys have anything to add on Black Phone or Elvis movie?
I'm super, super excited for Black Phone. I feel like that trailer was so eerie. There's so many just creepy things about the trailer. So that's I think will be a special horror movie. So I'm excited for that one.
I am very much excited again, like you guys see Black Phone. I just think it looks like it's going to be compiling so many different things between like paranormal and horror and just like thriller, all these different factors, and I'm super, super stoked for that. As far as what is this other movie called? The Elvis
Shotgun
movie?
Wedding? Is that
No.
it?
Elvis movie.
It's just Elvis movie. That's why it's called Elvis movie.
Elvis movie. I don't know anything about this movie aside that it's, I guess, about Elvis.
Yeah, it's about Elvis.
Okay.
What do you think it would be?
I don't know. Is it like a set up as like a biopic or
Yeah, I
just
think so.
a spin-off, like a what if Elvis storyline? Okay.
It's a biopic. Minions: Rise of Gru. Kirklin left. He said, "I'm done for the day." You know, I have no thoughts on Despicable Me. No, but yeah, I like those movies, so I will happily see this one with the kids. What about you, Taylor?
Gosh, the last Despicable Me, what was that came out? Because I think I've seen all of them and I really enjoy them. Was it Minions was the last one that came out?
Yeah, I think Minions. No, I feel like they went Minions and then 3, and then I think they're back to Minions.
Maybe. Yeah, well, either way, I love the...
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter the chronological order.
Yeah, no, none of our listeners give a fuck
No.
about which one came out.
I do enjoy these Despicable Me, though. I do enjoy Gru, I enjoy the Minions, and I'm very much excited, actually, for this. I think it'll be a fun time. I need a good, heavier selection of, animated films in my life.
A good heavy Despicable Me. I want the Minions to get fucking killed in this movie. I want Gru to feel some pain.
There you go.
Yeah, I did go Minions and then Despicable Me 3, so we were right on that one. So next I'd say like a controversial one, or one that it's going to be very interesting, but we have Thor: Love and Thunder. And man, when I say controversial, and this is where I don't really give a shit because it's just, it's fun and whatnot. But man, I just feel like Twitter is going to be a field day that weekend because you're going to have people who already hated Thor Ragnarok as Taika. You're going to have that. And then you're going to have Jane Foster as the mighty Thor in this. And I just feel like talk about those thumbnails, those red eye thumbnails. How many Natalie Portman, Taika Waititi red eye thumbnails are we gonna get in that time span about depowering Thor and how it's a woman? About it's gonna be an interesting time. But I am very excited for this movie. I'm really hoping, as I've said, that they do the cancer storyline from the comic books. I think Taika could handle that material, especially with Jojo Rabbit. This movie is stacked. The fact that we have Christian Bale as the villain is still nuts to me. I don't understand that. I can't process that. I will not even be able to process it while I'm watching it. The fact that he's Gor the Grob, but yeah, the MCU. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna get these fucking people now with the Batman stuff we're gonna talk about too. That's the DCEU. It's like that stuff is just gonna. But I'm just gonna chuckle because those are very pathetic losers that really don't got much of a life. So, and if they do, it's not a good one. But I've said this before, Thor Ragnarok as a ranking of my critical thoughts of it is in the middle of the MCU, but as far as rewatchable movies, it's up there. It's a top 3 one. It is a go-to of if I'm in a down mood, if I want to just put some on, if I want to have some fun. And not turn your brain off, but I take it separate from the MCU. I absolutely love that movie. So this I can't wait to see your first trailer. But yeah, between Valkyrie's back, between Mighty Jane, between Christian Bale, there's tons of stuff in this movie that I don't know if it's in the top 5. It's close, but I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like with Ragnarok, it was definitely a like peak for me, and so when we get to this, like, I love everything that they did with Ragnarok. I thought it was very like a fresh wave. Again, I'm definitely not alongside most people that hated on like Dark World and stuff like that, because there are definitely elements that I enjoyed in those films, but I think that I definitely really do enjoy like this new pathway that they're taking the character and everything like that. I haven't really I've distanced myself from Twitter a little bit more, and I haven't really paid mind to this whole like MCU bullshit that people are like throwing out there. That's just absolutely insanity. Like, if people are that compromised that, hey, my Thor is going to be depowered and they're going to give all this power to this woman, get off your high horse. It's I don't like using the phrase like it's 2022, because that doesn't really mean anything, because I mean, we're still pretty backwards in many aspects, but
Yeah.
I just feel like, you
Thor had
know,
3 movies.
yeah,
It's not like-
we've come, we're human beings. Just chill. Like, support an actress taking on such a awesome role at being like the leading lady in this, alongside like obviously Chris Hemsworth, but being able to like carry on and move forward with this, because I feel like this movie's at its core is going to be passing the mantle on, I feel like, and that's huge, because we're losing our main Avengers. This phase 4 is the torch being passed forward. So I think that this movie is going to make a huge statement, because we've gotten, how many of our characters have moved on now? I think aside from Hulk and She-Hulk, this is really the last one that's going to be kind of covered, I guess, as far as like original Avengers go. So
Maybe. I don't know if I'm fully bought in yet that he'll be gone yet. And if it is anybody, I actually think it'll be Valkyrie that's going to take over. I don't think it's going to be Jane. I think it'll be Valkyrie.
Really?
I think that's kind of a red herring. Especially if they go the cancer storyline, I think Thor might take a little break and Valkyrie will be worthy or something. Because Mjolnir's there, so she might prove that she's worthy. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'll kill a few minutes because I think Kirklin Patzer. What do you think about Thor: Love and Thunder?
Yeah, super excited to see it. I feel like it's been one of those that I know it's coming, but it's just been so quiet. Other than like the past set photos I might have seen of certain characters or something like that.
Portman looking jacked.
Absolutely, I'm excited a lot for her return. I really like Natalie Portman. She's not in enough things these days, or at least ones that I'm aware of. So super excited to see her return as Jane. And yeah, I've grown to just really love not only Thor, but like Chris Hemsworth's Thor since Endgame. I feel like that's really when he came together as the character. Now he's, under his own title. It's going to be lots of fun to have him back there and see how the Asgardians of the Galaxy are doing.
Oh, yeah, I guess we got that deal, too. Yeah, that'll be fun. They're confirmed the movie, too. I was saying this, you might have forgot this. Christian Bale's the villain. Don't forget about that.
Ooh, completely forgot about that. That's awesome.
Right?
What was the last villain he played? Sorry. I feel like you just know that off the top of your head.
That's arguable. That one's a villain in there. It's back and forth. I don't know if he's really played like a villain. I know people go, American Psycho. Yeah, that is true. But like he's not really opposed to he's opposed to people, but there's not like a main crux there.
Yeah.
Did you search it up, Taylor? Like villains Christian Bale's played.
yeah, I'm looking at different.
I don't think he has he's played shady guy. Like you could say Dick Cheney. Like
yeah, he's a villain there.
Yeah, but
to the American people.
Yeah, knowing like I got the gun and you got to do this. So that's gonna be very exciting.
Well, that's why I was asking, because I just it's tough to picture him in that role other than American Psycho, for example. But I'm really excited to see him as a villain. So
yeah. The next week you got Bed Rest, which is interesting. It's a woman that's pregnant that worries that she's hearing like her house is haunted. So that's kind of
fuck.
Okay.
That would be absolutely terrifying. Holy shit.
Well, there you go. So bed rest, Taylor got some there, and then Bullet Train. Taylor's really
That
worried
like
for when
hit
he's
Taylor
pregnant.
like personally. Yeah.
That's heavy.
This is a scenario he might run into. I might be pregnant in a haunted house. And then Bullet Trains, 5 assassins aboard a fast-moving bullet train to find out their missions have something in common. It's a stacked cast. It's directed by David Leitch, the guys that did like John Wick and stuff like that. Sandra Bullock, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brad Pitt, Zazie Beetz, Michael Shannon, Joey King, Logan Lerman, Brian Ty Henry, stuff like that. So really,
going.
really good cast. Yeah, that's it. Sorry. If I-
Hiroyuki Sanada.
I didn't want to butcher his name, so that's why I didn't say it. But this looks like fun. Again, I'm a big Brad Pitt fan, so I will probably see this. It's interesting because the rumors were this was the role that won Aaron Taylor Johnson the Craven role. People at Sony were. It's a Sony movie, and they were really impressed with him apparently in this movie. So, looks fun enough. I like the John Wick, action stuff, so I'll be there. Any thoughts?
I love the cast. Still gotta watch John Wick.
Mhm.
That's all.
There you go. Next week we have Under the. Taylor, you have anything on Bullet Train, sorry, or any
Not-
more trauma for bed rest?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Then the next week we got Nope, Under the Boardwalk, and Where Crawdad Sings. I'm sure Where the Crawdad Sings is some, I don't know, Oscar baby. A woman raised herself in the marshes, deep south, becomes a suspect of murder of a man she once involved with. Who was in this? Not really too many people. I know a few people. And then I don't know what Under the Boardwalk is, but Nope is Jordan Peele's next movie. Not much known about it. Just usually as Jordan Peele goes. Great cast. I'm thinking it's going to be at least a very exciting movie. So, because who is it again? It's Keke Palmer. Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya and then Stephen Yeun. But Daniel Kaluuya and him back together, very exciting. So, obviously, not much to say on Nope. Anything to add?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope, as well.
Then the next week after that, a movie that is been years in the making, as The Rock has been casted for a very, very long time, but it's happening July 29th, Black Adam. And we've only seen a little bit, but from what we've seen, I really, really enjoy. Pierce Brosnan's also in this. It's covering the Justice Society, which I'm very excited about, and also just I feel like The Rock is, whatever you want to think about him, I feel like he knows the first time he's ever in a superhero movie, it has to be something special or unique or something different. Something where it's like, we haven't seen this before, or this type before. And I'm not saying it's going to be The Dark Knight, but I just feel like it can't just be like another superhero movie. I don't think The Rock wants to do that. So I'm looking pretty excited to this. I don't think it's in my top 5, but it definitely would be a top 10er just because I'm very intrigued. I can't wait till we get the hype train. I know the Rock's going to talk about how the hierarchy of the DC power is about to change all the time, but like I think that I'm excited for the hype train to start, and trailers and teasers and all this stuff. So yeah, very excited.
I'll go next. I'm very excited for this for someone that hasn't seen Shazam. Very, very limited information on Black Adam, and I think that I feel like that speaks waves to like how big this movie possibly could be without getting into the memes of the hierarchy and stuff like that. But like even me that doesn't know anything about it, hasn't seen Shazam, is still really, really excited for it. It might be tough to say that because this is what I talk about basically as another job. But even just others that I've spoken to that really aren't big on the DC where it is, they just hear like, or maybe they saw the teaser of The Rock as Black Adam. It's just like, man, this looks and feels different than what we were saying. It kind of speaks to what you were just mentioning there, Travis, how I would agree with you. I think The Rock understands the importance of comic book movies these days, and especially with how rabid and crazy some of the fan bases can be, that he really wants to deliver. Because it's going to be something hopefully different from not only a comic book movie, but also a Rock movie.
Yes.
I pretty much, like me and a couple of my friends, anytime we're in a movie theater, and I swear to God, the Rock comes on for either Jungle Book or Red Notice was one of them, we literally just burst out laughing because I think it all originated from, I forget what movie we were even seeing, but the trailer for Skyscraper came on. And do you remember that one? It did very successful in China.
Yeah.
It was one of those movies, but just the trailer, it's just every time it's like The Rock wearing the same thing, and he's just it's a really positive thing because he's just risen so much higher than what like an actor is. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's The Rock, which kind of doesn't help when you're watching a movie because it's hard to see him as a character that he's portraying. It's just like, oh, this is The Rock, and whatever. I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole, but just I think the teaser did a good job at stepping away from that. I don't think this is just The Rock wearing a white muscle shirt or something like that. You know, like this is Adam. Like, and I'm really excited to see his transformation and just carrying of the role. And I think this has potential to be one of, if not my favorite DC thing. So I'm really excited for it.
One of, if not your favorite. You think it'll beat the Batman?
DC's got a good
I
year.
don't know. Yeah,
They got a good year. The fact that they got this and Black Adam, and the Batman, and then we got another movie to talk about later. They got a good 2022 coming up.
Taylor, you know I love my evil characters. He's like basically a Sith of the
Practically, yeah. He's got Sith lightning and everything. So.
Yeah, exactly. So the throne room was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, saw some Sith acolytes in there in the back corners.
There you go. Oh, I mean, I really like Shazam, and I think, he makes some great points, Kirkland. It's funny because he's literally, I mean, he is the same thing. You just laugh at him. I mean, he just...
Wow.
Up to his face because he's so fucking big.
yeah.
What's up, Dwayne? Fucking
Like,
little
funny.
bitch. I bet you can stand for Mando reviews.
There's those memes of him it's like him in 4 different movies, and that's the caption. It's like, this is The Rock in 4 different movies, but you wouldn't think it. You think it's all the same movie.
Not this time.
Not
No.
this time. No, I'm super jazzed and excited to see him, rocking the hood and the armor and just what he can bring to the table. He's in the Super Life of Pets too, isn't he?
Yeah. He's
Okay.
playing crypto, yeah. August, we can pretty much skip all of August. While you guys were talking, I went and looked at all these movies, and there's nothing much. Like, The Samaritan has Sylvester Stallone as like a retired hero. The Bride is, I don't know, something. Like, The Man from Toronto is like some assassin comedy. Beast is like they're hunting down a lion. So nothing really popping off in August. So Black Adam, you just go make a bunch of fucking money and just keep chugging along. But August, really nothing there. Is there anything there you guys want to shout that you caught your eye or something?
On a Wing and a Prayer. After a pilot dies unexpectedly while flying the plane, passengers forced to land the plane safely to save his entire family.
Who's the main actor? I gotta know.
Dennis Quaid.
That had a chance from being an Oscar movie or a straight to DVD movie, and I now know it's a straight to DVD movie now. Fucking Christ. Okay, and then even then, it's a Dark Harvest. It's just like some sort of horror movie. Don't worry, darling. I'm skipping the other ones because we're running long and we got some other good ones to talk about here. Don't worry, darling. I'm looking very forward to. That is Olivia Wilde. That is a movie with Harry Styles and Florence Pugh. Everyone go watch Booksmart if you haven't. It's a great movie. But Olivia Wilde, just not that I wouldn't have it in her, but just like I wasn't expecting like Olivia Wilde to direct some movies. Like, oh, this is great. Now I'm very excited. So, Taylor for GeekVerse podcast.
Well, you skimmed over, but did you actually look at the poster for Dark Harvest?
No, when I clicked it, I didn't get a poster.
There's like
looks like
maybe it's like a book cover or something. I'm not sure. It's got like this pumpkin man looking thing. But the bio, did you read the bio for it?
October Boy.
October Boy, yeah, terrorizes residents in small Minnesota town when he rises from the cornfields every Halloween with his butcher knife and makes his way towards those who are brave enough to confront him.
I'm going to watch it because I love Elizabeth Reeser. I'm a big fan of her. But yeah, I'll watch it from that. I did skip over it. It sounds like that's a great time to have it. Oh, and David Slade, too. He directs some Hannibal episodes. So there you go. So, yeah, don't worry, darling. And then Puss in Boots is getting a sequel. I can't believe it. It's very long. I feel like this is not going to do well because I feel like it's missed its time. But anything on those two movies? I don't even know what Don't Worry, Darling is about yet. There's just a picture of Florence Pugh in a fucking bag or something. So
Yeah, that one was on my radar strictly because I was hardcore following Florence Pugh. So she was in that aside Harry Styles. So I think it should be spicy. And funny you mentioned Booksmart. I just watched that the other night. Shay wanted to watch it. She fell asleep like within 4 minutes. I watched the entire thing by myself, and I wasn't disappointed. It very much just felt like Superbad with like females, but it was still good. It had some heart and some good some good cinematography in some scenes. So.
And it's funny because that's Jonah Hill's sister too. So there you go.
Oh, is it really? That's
Yes.
funny. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
September. Oh, go ahead, Taylor.
I was just gonna say, yeah, this is the third Puss in Boots film, so that's kind of interesting after 10 years.
Third?
Yeah, there was Puss in Boots 2011, then there's another one in 2012, which had Antonio Banderas actually come back for that one as well.
Was it a straight to DVD or something?
I have no idea.
Because if it's
called
not
Puss in
theatrical,
Boots,
it's not a film.
Puss in Boots, the Three
It's not
Diablos.
cinema.
It's not cinema.
The Three Diablos.
mhm.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Wow. I'll have to look after. September 30th, Mission Impossible 7. Obviously, I don't know. If you like these movies, you're going to be in for it. I do. You know, Rebecca Ferguson, Haley Atwell's joining the crew this time. Tom
Vanessa
Cruise,
Kirby's back.
Vanessa Kirby's back. So, yeah, there's not much to say other than I'm going to watch it. I'm very likely going to like it. And, yeah, sure. Bring it on, you know? More Tom Cruise Mission Impossible.
I am incredibly excited for this movie. I absolutely loved Fallout, which is weird because I wasn't even the biggest fan of the series. I think I've seen all the movies, but that one, we had Tom Cruise just being great as the role of Ethan Hunt. He's great. We know he's great. We had Henry Cavill. That's a huge win in any condition, I guess, and. The whole cast for me was just so great. Vanessa Kirby, Rebecca Ferguson, and the supporting roles. Oh my gosh, what's the one lad's name? Oh, help me out. He was in Dawn of the Dead and those movies.
Simon Pegg.
Yeah, Simon Pegg. He's really good in it, and I just.
Shaun of the Dead, by the way.
What did I say?
Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, okay. Well, you knew what I was going for. But no, I think I'm just really attached to the cast at this point. So yeah. I'm really, really in on them, and I fucking love Fallout. I made Shay go watch that in theaters with me twice. That's how much I loved it, and she hates Tom Cruise and she doesn't like action movies. So that was it was a tough sell, but I pulled it off,
Tom
boys.
Cruise.
Yeah.
She must have really hated Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, she really did, and it's a long fucking movie. Yeah.
You made Shay watch it twice in theaters?
Yeah, I did.
Why twice?
First time, I fell asleep.
Oh.
Whoa.
I know. It's rare. I don't ever fall asleep in movies.
I fucking love
especially
this movie.
in a theater. I was so excited to see it too, and I was just fading, and then I passed out. It was like end credits, and Shay was so pissed off because she watched this whole movie without me. But yeah, no, it was rough.
Watch it again.
It was rough, so I made her go again because I really wanted to see it.
The fact she didn't dump you right there is like,
yeah.
I think we're done.
That was the weakest part of our relationship, and we've been strong ever since.
Taylor, you ready to get into some more Impossible missions?
I'm down. I love Mission Impossible 2, and when Fallout came out,
Why?
I just
Why
the whole
2 and then all the way to Fallout?
Is that the one with Nicolas Cage's dad from National Treasure?
No, that's the
Forget his
first
name.
one.
Oh, that's the first one. Okay.
No, I really loved just the story. I love this this like the bioweapon.
it's heavy.
Madison doesn't understand it at times, but I'll quote that movie sometimes. So she'll be like, "Can you get my phone out of my jacket and pocket?" And I'll look it up and be like, "My right jacket pocket," because that's one of the villain's lines in that movie. Because it's so good.
You ladies
Watch the
both should have
movie,
broke
you'll
up with
know.
you because of Mission Impossible movies.
Because of Mission Impossible.
Yeah, because of Mission Impossible.
Oh.
This is some depressing shit right here. Let's go.
I like when Fallout came out, like that was such a good movie. Like I just talking about it now, I probably am gonna plan to watch it within the next week again here because it's just so good.
by
It's so
Kirklin
damn
will
Oh,
good.
it's so good. I'll bring
have
my
to come back
shirt. You've
twice.
seen my shirt, right?
I don't think I have
Right.
seen your shirt.
Travis has.
It just says Mission Impossible Fallout.
Oh, there you go.
It was when Shay was working at the theater, and they just had free merch or something. So she bestowed me with 2 movie viewings and a T-shirt. So she's a keeper.
October, we get into a big one. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. It's a long fucking title now, but I don't have much more to say about this. We've Spider-Verse is a Golden Geek winner. We loved the trailer of this thing of announcing that there was going to be a part 1 and part 2. I trust them fully. As I always say, I go, I wish the same directors were back, but you got Phil Lord and Chris Miller, so they were the brainchilds behind lots of stuff. But still, I'd like some of those directors, but they've supported it too. So I'm expecting greatness. The only thing I always caution is I'm excited to get trailers. I think it's gonna be a fun build up, but it's just as like that first one's lightning in a bottle, and I think it's gonna be very hard. I'm not expecting to catch that magic again because that'd be very tough. But if we can have another good solid outing with Gwen Stacy, Miles Morales, hell yes.
Hell yes, yeah. I think I agree with you and your expectations. I'm expecting it to not be as good as the first, and I think that'll help the overall outcome of the movie. Just because that first one was so special, and like everything about it made it special. For me, the storyline is just, it's really, really good. It gets me to the point of like tearing up near the end. Like it's just a really, really well told story. And then everything on top of it just makes it a perfect movie in my eyes. So I'm not expecting the second one to match at least the story elements, but I'm hoping it just recaptures that magic of what the first one has. But no, this is like a Christmas present in October. I'm kind of surprised it's not released in December as well. I feel like Spider-Verse.
You'll know why when we get there.
I'll know why
loaded.
when we get there.
December's
okay.
loaded. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I'm not giving it service with how excited I am for it, but I am excited for it, and it's quite a while away. October, almost a full year now. But fuck, I'm gonna be there day one. Me and Spidey here. We're going together. So. Sorry, audio listeners. You have no fucking idea what I'm talking about.
Kirklin just has a Spider-Man poster that's trying to get him to kill his girlfriend or something. That's
Holy shit.
Put it in the trunk. Taylor.
Yeah.
That's
you
what
get
I
these
said
jokes.
earlier.
Okay.
When I
You're
was
giggling
whispering,
so hard.
Yeah, when I was laughing earlier when I was doing like kill her, did you not understand? I was saying like this.
I
Spider-Man
didn't
poster-
even hear you.
So I was saying that Spider-Man was like saying kill her, like you can get away with it. Like your poster was talking to you, telling you.
It's like the fucking snake in Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys think your relationships survive Mission Impossible, just think Emily has to survive this 24/7. These fucking jokes.
Yeah.
So,
Then they laughed, and he laughed.
They laughed and they laughed, and he killed his girlfriend with the poster. But then they laughed some more, and that's how GeekVerse ended. Taylor Field.
Spider-Verse.
You know what one she doesn't like right now is something stupid will happen. She'll someone will drop a cup.
Fuck you, asshole. One of those.
Fuck you, asshole. That's not even a podcast joke, but no, like I know I did it the other day because it'd be like, oh, I dropped my shoe. Drop my shoe. Come to NBC this fall, and I'll do it like over and over. And fuck, not a fan.
annoying.
But you got to be there in the moment. But then I just get naked, and she's like, "Oh, I understand." So Taylor Field, Spider-Verse, Part 1 of Across the Verse. What do you think?
I mean, I'm down. Let's do it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What's the date on that again? I missed that one.
October. It's like the first weekend of October.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll clear my schedule.
All right, let's get better. Fuck. Let's take our probably last ad break, and we'll talk about the rest of the year. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So the week after that, we have Halloween Ends. I think I already talked about that when Asbab talks about the COVID thing. I'm not a fan of that plot line. I'm excited for it to end. I've been pretty disappointed with this franchise. I don't think they're not bad movies, but I was expecting a lot more when who got them again? Blumhouse. So I was expecting a lot more from them, and I think they've kind of dropped the ball here, other than some good visuals. So I'll be excited for the ends, but I'll be on the review with Taylor because I like horror slasher stuff. So I'll be there, and yeah, we'll see. My excitement is definitely not in the top 5, not in the top 10, not in the top 20. You know, like I'm probably more excited for Jurassic World Dominion than this, and I think Jurassic World, the first one, is terrible, but. MJ asks, are we getting any MCU show before Multiverse of Madness? Well, there's rumors right now that we're supposed to get a Moon Knight trailer this week, so that could be lots of fun. But yeah, the rumor is February, March, so definitely we'll be getting at least one, I think. So, Taylor Field, Halloween Ends, you excited?
I mean, I want to be excited. The whole like COVID narrative into the storyline, I feel like it's just so misplaced. I mean, COVID has nothing to do with Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, so.
gonna
that'll be something else. But I mean, the last one.
It's just a movie of him going around stabbing anti-vaxxers with the vaccine.
There you
like
go.
A hawk out.
That's his weapon.
Yeah, the scariest movie you'll ever
syringe.
see. My body, my choice.
I mean, as far as like Halloween Kills goes, like I absolutely love that movie. I thought like the action sequences were fantastic. They just made him into absolute beast mode. It was so cool. And if we get more of that, then count me in. But it remains to be seen. I need to see a trailer. I need to see how it's going to go down. So
After that, Ticket to Paradise is some like rom-com with George Clooney and Julia Roberts. So that's cool. Always like when they're together. Then November, here we go. November's fucking stacked as well too. But November 4th, the movie that has been causing all the trouble this weekend, The Flash. So this is a movie that was supposed to come out in 2018, so we are about 4 years late. But, you know, time's all relative, especially with Barry Allen and stuff like that, right? But I'm going to set this up in two ways, because we're going to talk about what's happening, and then we're going to talk about the actual movie. So obviously, this is taking place after Justice League. They're kind of basing out the Flashpoint storyline where maybe Flash goes back in time, changes some things, fucks the whole universe up. We don't know. We know that we are in a Supergirl/Superwoman in this. We know Ben Affleck's coming back as Batman. And we know Michael Keaton is reprising his role for the first time since 1992 as Batman. So just alone on just the movie Kirklin Patzer, and we've seen a little bit teaser of The Flash at DC Fandom, but it was a very small one. Kirklin Patzer, what is just your excitement for this movie as of right now before we get some of these rumors and stuff going on?
It's very low, very low. I think the only
low.
saving is like Michael Keaton. That's the only saving grace really for me. I don't know. I think I liked Barry Allen enough in like his or who's the actor that portrayed him?
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller. Like I liked him enough in the role as the collection. It's not enough for me to really like him in a standalone. We're getting 3 of him, which I'm not like super against or anything. I'm also one. I never really cared for the character of the Flash. Don't have much attachment to him there. But yeah, I don't know. It's always funny being someone that's not like heavily invested in these types of movies or something. Like it's not my Spider-Man. Like it's not Spider-Man coming out and I'm like so like this movie has to be great. So it's just funny being like someone to the sides, like on the bleachers with his popcorn, just watching like Twitter burn sometimes, or just people getting so upset about these things. It's unfortunate that people have those reactions, and maybe it won't be what they wanted or what they thought they wanted or needed. So it's just funny being a spectator on the sides, and that's my 2 cents. And I hope I didn't make anyone too angry there.
Did you see that the imagery that they? I think it was like a confirmed leak from last week. Did you see that, Kirklin?
Oh God, what
Of
is
what?
It works so good. It works so good.
So for people that don't know, it is a photoshopped photo of Michael Keaton as a Batman that Taylor made. You'd have to go watch the video version only to get that.
That was good.
That's
It's like a
good
jump
setup.
scare.
Where is he going with this? Like, please don't drop some massive spoilers in the thing. Phil, how you feeling with The Flash?
I feel like after coming from No Way Home, I'm super on board with the whole multiverse kind of alternate timeline things, especially when you're bringing back OG characters like Michael Keaton's Batman. I think this is going to be just a wild ride. It's going to be full of just nostalgic cues and scenes and Easter eggs, and it's just going to be overall just awesome and fantastic. I am super down for this, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, I am not very low, but I'm like mid-tier low. And I am like Kirklin, where the only reason I'm excited about this is because of Keaton. And I know I hear Clay somewhere echoing somewhere all from America to hear like, oh, yeah, just excited because it's Batman. Yes, but that's not just because like it's like, oh, I have a Flash movie and all this stuff. That's great, but it's all about Batman. It's because the other stuff just doesn't interest me really. You know, like I don't like Ezra Miller from a acting standpoint and a personal standpoint. I used to love Ezra Miller. I thought he was the perfect casting for Flash. And I think I like him a little bit better in Snyder's Justice League, but he's still pretty annoying. I don't really want him to be like a solo lead, and this is what we're getting. And yeah, the fact that we're getting two of them is just like, I don't think I'm ready for this to happen. Like that's a lot of Ezra Miller for me to take in, especially with the theory that he might be the villain of the movie too. Is like none of that sounds appealing. But all that's good is just like, let's say you went to a restaurant, and you ordered a whole meal, and for some reason there's all these things, and you hate everything, but there's one thing on the plate that you absolutely love. That's what the Flash is, and that's where Michael Keaton comes in, because that is going to be a special moment for me, whatever it is. And I don't know the movie, but I trust Michael Keaton to fucking deliver. I don't have any questions in my mind that Keaton's going to come into play, and he's going to deliver a great Bruce Wayne. And that's why I'm so excited for this movie. It's just I just love that we're in this world where we got Tobey and Andrew, and then in, just a year's time, by this time, we would have seen Michael Keaton back as Batman. And when I watch Batman Returns this holiday season, then it's like him and Alfred driving off. It's just like, man, to get a movie, we talk about Tobey being 15 years later, to get a movie that is almost 30 years, what has happened to this guy in 30 years? And this one is different because it's not like Tobey and Andrew where it's hidden. He's being promoted, he's going to be advertised, so we know we're going to get lots of backstory about Keaton's Batman, I would assume. So I think it's going to be very special. And these are the things I was going to ask you too. That this movie, we don't know when it's coming out, but the Batgirl movie, it is. We didn't talk about this in the news, but it's been confirmed that he is going to be in the Batgirl movie, and also the rumors right now is Black Canary from Birds of Prey is going to be in it as well. So the Batgirl movie is just getting bigger and bigger. I think there's a good chance that will not go to HBO Max, because we didn't cover this because Blue Beetle got bumped up to a theatrical now, because it's a real film, guys, real film. But Blue Beetle was going to HBO Max, so went, no, it's theatrical. I think it's going to be the same thing with this. The cast is stacking up. So what happened this week of why it started to get a little bit busy and why people are losing their minds? So two scoopers put this out, and then of course the non-controversial Grace Randolph, of course, backed it up and everything, and she's always been known for making stuff up, but she's gotten some things right before. She's got many things wrong. Like she said Wonder Woman 1984 was going to be a Flashpoint movie and change everything. It wasn't. I don't trust her. I think it's the other leaks where I go, okay, these people are talking about too. The leaks were that this movie will find a way to, quotations, erase the Snyderverse or the Snyder's movie to make it that Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League never happened. Now, I am going to throw it to you two in a second. I'm not even going to do a long rant, just a mini rant where I think people just have to look at words and just understand. There's been this great memes going around of a race, and people memes of the police are going to bust down your door and take every copy of Man of Steel or BVS. It's they're not going to be gone, because technically, even if Barry runs to a timeline, changes things, you'd always have to watch those three movies to get to this point where he changes things, right? So they're never going to be really erased from timeline. It's just creating I think are just saying, scoopers are saying erase as just terminology of there's going to be a new canon, there's going to be a new universe, and that didn't happen in it. And I don't understand where fucking people have been for the past year. Michael Keaton got cast, and when he got cast, they said he might be in Batgirl and he might be in Nick Fury type role. So all these people that are fucking just waking up, I can't believe he's going to be replacing Ben Affleck. This has been talked about for almost a year now. Wake the fuck up. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I don't understand it, and I know people are mad about the erasing or new continuity. I know people are oh man, what was it? I don't want Batman and Superman not to be there. I don't want Batgirl to be there and Supergirl to be there. I want those characters. Well, Ben Affleck's done, and you don't want a 6-year-old Batman, and people are, we'll just recast. Really? You think the internet, the Snyder Bros, the people that are really vicious, that they recast Affleck and they're going to take that well? Not at all. Not at all. So, and Cavill, we've talked about this a million times. Why Warner Bros. Doesn't want to use him? I don't know. They're fucking stupid studio. They make no sense. They have a bona fide star right there. Nah, let's just get him. So I'm not saying this is what I want. I'm not saying it's right. But it's just, it feels okay, this is the way they're going to go. I'm going to be optimistic about it. I'm going to hope to give it a chance. I'm going to hope to give this new kind of rumored Justice League lineup of them two with Wonder Woman and Shazam and maybe Black Canary. I'm down to give it a try because they're keeping the things they want, and I don't know if it's going to work out. Warner Brothers has many times spun out, but I guess I'm fine with it. And I guess for the people that, this would be Kurt talking about offline, that some people, the Snyderverse is just their personality, right? And they're just saying, DC's dead, it's over. How could we watch this? One, don't watch them. And two, well, guess what? I hate to say this, but from 2013 to, whenever the Snyderverse ended, there was a whole group of people that looked at those movies and went, fuck this. I don't want this universe. This sucks. So unfortunately, it just comes in cycles, just like reboots and stuff like that. It's your turn. It's your turn not to like what's happening because Snyder's moved on. He's on Netflix. Sure, he'd maybe want Warner Brothers, but at the end of the day, the Snyder Cut, I'm not saying it wasn't successful, all this stuff, but the fact that Mortal Kombat did better than the Justice League, the Snyder Cut Justice League, to me shows that, like, okay, there's maybe money in it, but maybe they don't view it's that amount of money. I still, like I've always said, BVS not hitting $1 billion, Justice League bombed. Sure, it was the Whedon version, but the GA didn't know that. To me, it makes sense why they're doing this. You don't have to like this, I know people, I think Clay's one of these people too, but Batgirl's not Batman. That's not Batman. By them saying she's the new Batman, it's just that she is the Batman type. She is cake. We need an architect or archetype of a Batman-like character, and that is Batgirl. Supergirl is Superman. And do I have to like that? No, but that's just the route they're going to go. And they got a Batman movie over there. You might get an HBO Max Superman series. I don't know. So where are you on this, Taylor, as far as we've talked about this a few times, but it seems like it's picking up more and more that they're going to maybe and this is what I've been saying for years, but it sounds like more and more they're going to do an X-Men Days of Future Past where, a few movies ago, Cyclops and Jean were dead. And then Logan wakes up. They've changed time like, oh, I'm in a new universe, this and that. And again, those movies still kind of happen, but they didn't. How do you feel about them kind of maybe creating a new path for themselves and essentially getting rid of Affleck and Cavill for maybe ever, even though no one's gone forever? Because you could literally in 5 years do movies like, oh, look, they're back, another multiverse. So people are freaking out way too much, as always.
Oh man, I just really don't care anymore. Like it's,
I know you. I don't even.
like,
But to bring it up for the show because that's the people want it.
Yeah, I mean, at its core, I think it to me, it's just. I know I can easily just go like the cop-out route and compare like MCU style and stuff like that. But I mean, when you look at DC, it's just they've gone down this route. They are now trying to, I guess, not retcon it, but just kind of like clean the slate and just go down new stories and paths and stuff. And obviously, I feel like that's what they're trying to do with like Robert Pattinson's Batman and stuff like that. So fair enough. Sure, I respect that. They're not just doing a total reboot, but it's within their multiverse, reset timeline, whatever you want to call it, realm of possibility. That's fair. That's okay. Just because they remove Henry Cavill as playing Superman and they remove Ben Affleck of playing Batman, it does not mean those movies like are no longer canon. They still exist in this storyline and timeline. You have to watch those to get to the point of where this timeline transitions into these new characters. So people just kind of freaking out. I mean, you guys, like, do you love the actors or do you love the characters? I understand if you like the actors playing these characters, that's justified, that's fine. But as DC fans, I feel like you would like these characters, and these characters are still being represented by new fantastic actors and actresses in this whole this universe, this franchise. So just be happy that your media is still being continued, because it's been extremely rocky at times. And I don't know, I would say just be a little bit more grateful. I know I've made some very harsh jokes in the past.
You're telling people to be grateful to Warner Brothers. That's a hard pill to swallow.
Be grateful that they're getting, because we could see. I can say that about Warner Brothers, but this is the same company that's still like pumping out the Batman, right? Like there's still some like really good stuff that's coming out from them in this whole multiversal universe of DC superhero films. So I feel like, okay, there are some things that could be justified, but I mean, if people are just, I feel like that people just need to calm down and just enjoy that. Hey, at least you guys are still getting stuff. Like, I'm waiting forever for my fucking Assassin's Creed TV show. Just be thankful you guys are getting like 10 different Batmans in one fucking year. That's fucking awesome.
He's really bitter about this one. He's really bitter about this, folks. It's the third time it's come up tonight. Yeah, and I'm honestly, to state the preference, I'm the same as you, Taylor, where it's like, oh, like I don't. The only thing I interact with on Twitter, I just like the memes because now the memes, and usually they're memes that are pissing
Are
people
you the one
off, but-
posting the memes?
No. But before I would like make a Twitter post or like this, that, but it's like, I don't care too much. But that's why, of course, we cover it here because it's like a hot button topic and it's been raging the whole weekend. So, Kirklin, you had said you had just seen some of it today. You had no idea until you listened to DC Alliance because phone algorithms and whatnot. So, what do you feel about kind of just a bit more pointing towards a new path for the DC films?
I feel like it's something maybe we shouldn't have been so surprised about. That like you can only hold on to those characters for so long. We were scratching our heads why they aren't just using Henry Cavill in the prime of his life. It seems like he likes playing the role of Superman too, so he's totally game to just dive into more character stuff, and they don't want to go that route. So I think once you realize that, it's just like, okay, let's move on to something fresh, and there's nothing more fresh than just completely wiping the slate clean, right? And like you brought up the Days of Future Past route, I feel like if we were predicting like a couple casts back and you brought up that example, I probably would have been game for that. It's one of those things I just don't think much about. So when I like hear about it, it's like, oh yeah, that does kind of make sense. And me not having any emotional ties to these types of movies or really DCEU in general, it makes me pretty indifferent when I hear news like this. And I'm like you. I like the memes that come out of it.
Yes.
It's so strange trying to put myself on like the spectrum of like caring level, like because there's like Dylan Muss who we love him, but like he's way on the other side. He hated hearing about the Snyder Cut. Remember?
Oh yeah, it's non-existent to him. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not quite that far. I maybe am more on that side than not, but I'm pretty central and in the middle, and just. It doesn't matter who's playing the role of the characters. I'm going to be seeing these movies because it's a comic book movie, and these characters that I know, I wouldn't say I love them, but I know them at least, so I would be willing to be open to it. But I don't know. That's my Switzerland answer. I'm very much indifferent.
Poland, but there you go. So after that is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Talk about Flash being a messy movie. This is, you got a lead that's unfortunately passed away. You have problems with one of the actresses from injury / they don't know what to do with maybe the new vaccine policies. You're introducing a new Black Panther. All these things. I'm not, unfortunately, it's so funny because on Fandango, the American ticket sellers, they posted like their most anticipated movies that the voters voted on. And this was number 1, and I was surprised. And again, it does show like... It does show that first film had such a big impact, but I guess I'm not excited for this film. I'm more intrigued to see what it's gonna do, and that's just because it's hard for me to be excited at all for like the Chadwick Boseman less Black Panther, So it's like I'm gonna maybe once we get closer and I see trailers and whatnot, I'll be excited. But right now it's still like I don't know. It's just, and obviously even people still debate about should they have been recast and whatnot. I'm still glad they didn't. I don't think we need to do that right now, but I'm intrigued to see what they do with this movie nonetheless. Kirkland Patzer, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm like you. I don't have hype for this movie. I feel like any more news I hear about it, it's bad news. It's people refusing to do something, or maybe just more complications on set, or maybe just I don't know. I feel like I haven't had good news come out about this movie, and it's weird because I don't want to say it's gonna be unsuccessful.
Yeah, you got Marvel. It's a popular. Like the first film, one of the biggest films all time. I'm pretty sure it's still MCU's biggest like North American domestic film. So, and it's gonna be big no matter what. But it's just
and I was definitely. I also don't want to say that it's going to be unsuccessful because we don't have Chadwick. It's incredibly unfortunate that we don't have him with us anymore. But it's. I feel like that doesn't doom the franchise. It's just there's so many other things that have just been so many red flags, and it's It's unfortunate because I love Black Panther.
Yeah.
That first movie is phenomenal. I want it to be great. I want to be excited for it. It's strange. It's a strange time. I'm hoping for success.
Taylor, where are you on Black Panther? Wakanda Forever, I should have said.
Yeah, it's a pickle that they're in, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they adapt and they move forward. But I don't have any doubt in my mind that, like Feige and the MCU will be able to find like a good narrative going forward that's not going to like not cover up, but like involve like recasting necessarily like of Chadwick or anything like that, but just kind of like honor the legacy and then move forward in a progressively positive way that adds more to the whole narrative of not only like Black Panther but just the MCU in general, and just dive into more content for us. I think the main thing is just creating this movie as a bridge to a new roster of characters that we can follow that moves away from Black Panther if they choose not to focus on having like another Black Panther, or unless they use this again as this movie to bridge to the new Black Panther, the new a character that takes up the mantle. So it's a lot of tribulation for them to get this film out, but nonetheless, I am excited for it. I do want to see how they overcome this and what they deliver. So I got hopes for it.
All right.
You missed a movie that I wanted to mention. Canterbury Glass. It's an untitled David O. Russell movie when you click on it, but this one I saw behind the like a while back. I saw like behind, or it was like sleek photos on set, and the cast alone just has me so fucking excited. It's not going to be on my top 5 strictly for the fact that I know nothing about this film and there's no trailer or anything.
What did they do to Margot's hair? Whoa.
But yeah, she's got black hair. She looks strange. But like the cast: Anya Taylor-Joy, Margot Robbie, Christian Bale, Rami Malek, Zoe Saldana, Robert De Niro, Timothy Olyphant, Michael Shannon, Mike Myers. Like,
wow,
it's John David Washington, Taylor Swift, Chris Rock. Like, that is just insane. I feel like I almost want to put it on my top 5. I'm not going to, just because there's so little information about it. But I think when I get that first trailer, this is going to be one that's like, I must see this just for the cast.
You're 100% right. I forgot that this movie existed. I remember we were posting about and stuff like that. But yeah, no, that's a good shout out. That's David O. Russell and Christian Bale worked together many times, and it's always fire. So yeah, that's good. And that's why too, I guess I'll shut this one out because it's at the end of the year, but we're gonna talk about some of the bigger ones. Is Babylon. That's Damien Chazelle. He's the guy that directed Whiplash and La La Land. His movie first back since La La Land. It's Brad Pitt. It's Margot Robbie because Emma Stone was pregnant, but still it's Margot Robbie. It's gonna be good. And it's Samara Weaving. So the fact they got Margot Robbie and Samara Weaving in the same movie, we're gonna prove that they're not the same person finally. It's great. But there's someone else really good in it too, Babylon's. But as somebody myself who's like a massive La La fan, one of my favorite films of all time. Toby's in it. Toby Maguire's in it. I can't wait. Olivia Wilde's in it. So yeah, gonna be a good time there. Go ahead.
There was another movie I completely forgot to shout out. This is back March 25th. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I'm not sure if you guys have seen a trailer for this. This is an A24 film. It looks really trippy. Watch the trailer. You don't have to watch it now.
Yeah,
but
I have. Yeah.
It looks weird. A24 film. I quite like their films, so this one's on my radar. Completely forgot. I think the title just wasn't catchy for me to remember when we went through the list. But this one's definitely on my radar. Not top 5 or anything like that, but I think it's worthy to bring up.
Well, even the David O. Russell movie, Canterbury Glass, terrible title. Like I'm sure it has some meaning. Like what if that just rolls off the tongue, So
yeah, it's rough.
So the last 3 biggest movies. This is why we were talking about. Hey, why is the Spider-Verse not coming out in December? We'll just round them off together because we're near that 3 hours here. So we got Avatar 2, Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom, the same weekend. So that's definitely not going to stand. I think someone's going to move a weekend and stuff. But Avatar 2, finally, Avatar 2 will just get delayed another 3 years. That's what will happen. And then Super Mario Bros. The movie. That is an interesting 2 weeks. I am very interested box office. I'm interested movie-wise. I'll just start. Aquaman, I absolutely love that movie. No, it's not a 10 out of 10. It's not my top DCU movie, but I love it. It's so much fun. Momoa is our generation's Brendan Fraser, so it has such a good time there. I trust James Wan to make another great Aquaman movie, or a fun Aquaman movie, whatever it may be. I'll be excited by that. Super Mario, it's made by the same company that did Grinch and Despicable Me, so I have some faith that they can at least make a decent movie. All I'm looking for is like a 7 out of 10, like an enjoyable time. I want to be good because these rumors of a Donkey Kong spin-off stuff, this needs to unlock the key to, maybe not Smash Bros, but just more Nintendo movies, because Nintendo's sitting on a fucking gold mine over there, and because they made one bad movie in the fucking 90s, they scare them off. Like that whole rumor of like Zelda on Netflix, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, do it up. And then
doesn't take much to send them running.
no, it doesn't. And then the big one, Avatar 2, that's almost like Wakanda Forever, where I'm very intrigued. I'm many people where I'm over Avatar. I know it's the biggest movie of all time, but I have really no interest. It could stay in the past. But of course, I'll see this one for the podcast. We're going to be talking about it. It's going to be a discussion piece. But I guess, and the bad thing is, though, I was always very curious how Avatar 2 was going to do. But now in a COVID world, it might be better come December, but it'll never be like it was back in the day. So I'll never have that question answered. But for a sequel, I really don't care about Avatar 2 as of right now. You got the game coming out, so look at that hype building. But we'll talk about that on Wednesday. But yeah, not much for me for Avatar 2. So yeah, interesting 2 weeks though.
Interesting 2 weeks, absolutely. With Avatar 2, I'm sure my hype will get increased when I see a trailer or something. Definitely. I can't remember if we said we'd do a retro on the first or not, but I'll.
Oh yeah, it's one movie. We can knock
easy.
that out.
a lot of hours, but still, one movie. It's that one. It's I don't know. It doesn't get brought up a lot in like when I'm talking about movies and stuff, but it's still a really special movie. It's still such a great like sci-fi adventure, and the first one blew me away the first time I saw it, and I'm hoping for the same for the second one. They definitely took their sweet ass time on it, but Aquaman, yeah, I think that's in a warm place. It's not top 5 worthy, but I'm still really excited. I really, really like the first one, so that's that. And with Super Mario Bros, I'm like question mark on that one. I like you, Travis. I really want it to be good. I don't know. Not the biggest Nintendo guy or like Mario guy, but I still just want a successful, fun time because at least I like have knowledge of the characters. So if they make jokes with the characters, I can laugh and like know some smaller joke that maybe the non-Mario players might miss on or something like that. But like I don't have major
just wants to be
investment.
smarter than everybody. That's what he's saying. I
Oh,
got the joke.
yeah,
and I laughed.
that's from
and
Super
I
Mario
laughed,
2. Yeah,
and you couldn't laugh.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how to feel on it. I just want it to be good, and I don't think there's anyone else I missed. No. I want to dance with somebody. Never heard of that movie.
Avatar. Oh, I think that's the Whitney Houston biopic or Tina Turner biopic. I can't remember who did the song.
Whitney Houston.
Thank you, Whitney Houston biopic. Avatar 2, Aquaman, Lost Kingdom, and Mario. Taylor Field.
So, I mean, Avatar, I'm a big fan. I saw it 4 times in theaters. I love that movie so much. I got like the special edition that has like the 3 different like theatrical versions, like extended and then super extended. Like, it's just such a good film. I am so longing for the sequel. And the many other sequels that are to come as well. And I think this is going to be a great time. I can't wait to see this movie finally because it's supposed to come out a while ago. Technology wasn't ready, though. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, just remember that. And now...
Fuck off, James. Yeah, right.
But yeah, now it's coming up. This is the year. It's going to be good. Aquaman 2... I don't mind the first one. It's definitely not like one of my most favorite DC films. I just found it like it has elements that I really, really liked, and I would have loved to see more of that expanded upon. But fuck me, we're not getting the Trench movie. But I do think that the second one will be be a good adventure. It'll be fun. I can look forward to it. And the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I think that you guys said a lot of very on point things. This is gonna be hopefully a jumpstart. The animation, like you mentioned, Travis, that company that does those like the Illumination, I believe they're
Yeah.
called. They do the Minions, Despicable Me, all that stuff, the Grinch. I love their animation art style, and I think it totally would look just so like considering the fact that Pixar isn't doing it, the only other company I would think of that I would want to handle the animation for it is Illumination, because I just love their art style of how they've designed these animated characters. And I think that when we get this movie, it's going to be really, really good. I think that they can have a lot of fun with it. I think that the whole roster of actors, portraying these characters is just going to add to it as well. And it's going to be cool to see how they throw their voices into the mix here to portray these characters. And
Oh yeah.
you're absolutely right. If we get this as a success, then I think it opens up a rabbit hole of possibility for new Nintendo and relatable IP characters to just get their own films and just start going at it. God knows, I was just like you mentioned Zelda.
Just fucking.
I
You
really
gotta
want
shame
Zelda.
them. Yeah. Yeah, I want Star Fox, But you think we're gonna get a Mario situation? You said or a Sonic situation. You said you can't wait to see their animation. They just come out looking like shit, and they gotta redo it all.
That would be pretty brutal. I mean, hopefully they just sticks with the original, theme. It's pretty simple too. I mean, he's already an animated
Mario's
character.
fucking jacked.
Yeah.
He's looking like Arnold back in the '80s. When I pump, I'm coming.
If this takes off, like it's just one step
quote.
closer to getting a Waluigi on film. That's what I want.
Oh yeah, and then we'll get that game. Fuck yeah. Well, we are here at the end of the road. We gave you guys a 3-hour cast. So now, what is your 5 most anticipated movies? Kirklin Patzer from Descending Order. Give you 5 to 1. Go.
Alrighty. So special shout out to Canterbury Glass. I said that one probably would be on my top 5 if I had a trailer. I don't. Number 5 is actually the Northmen. I think it might be just because it's pretty close, and that trailer really sold me. So that's my top 5. Number 4, I got Thor: The Return of the God of Thunder. It's not the title; that's my title for it. And I'm excited to see Jack Natalie.
The Return of the God of Thunder.
That font gets me, man. That 80s one, it's so fun. I'm expecting a fun time. So number 3, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That one is, that trailer's so great. Return to the Queen of the MCU. A lot of great stuff going on.
Also, the subtitle of that movie. Return of the Lord of Thunder, Return of the Queen. They
should hire me for these title names.
Yeah.
These are catchy.
Yep.
Spider-Verse Part 1, Across the Spider-Verse, whatever that was called. That's my number 2, if I didn't already mention that. I'm fucking super excited. Probably would have been my number 1 if not for the Batman in March 3rd. That one is that one's crazy. It's crazy. I don't think I have to touch upon too much on the order of my list. That's what it is. And yeah.
All right, so Canterbury Glass, that's a good honorable mention. I'll honorable mention the Northmen too. It didn't quite make it, but just because I got just pretty much IP on here. So say what you want about me, and I guarantee you the other films will be like higher up. But still, so at At number 5, we got Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Just it was tough, these last 3, where to put them and everything like that. Number 4, I have Flash. I put Flash just above just because I do 100% think Multiverse Madness will be a better movie, but it's a Keaton. I got to see the Keaton. Looking very forward to that.
Those eyes.
Don't do it. This is my list. You can do it for your list. After that would be Lightyear. Like I said, mega excited. I'm mega excited for all of these. These are the home hitters. Spider-Verse is at number 2, and then yes, the Batman, which is could arguably be my new favorite film, which is a scary thing. But when I see these trailers, I go, this has a chance. So the Batman. So Taylor, I want to take a shot. So I know you got Jurassic World Dominion at number 1. You don't got to shake your head yes or no, but I know you got that. I imagine you probably got the Batman in there. I think you probably got Doctor Strange. Maybe Halloween Ends. I don't know for sure on that one, but I'm confident on those first 3. But I'll say Halloween Ends, and then I'll say... oh, boy. I'll say Spider-Verse, but I could be wrong. Kirklin, you have any additions that I think I missed for Taylor's list that would be on there? I went with Spider-Verse, Batman, Jurassic World... the Halloween Kills maybe, and then Doctor Strange.
I don't think Halloween Kills would be on there.
Ends, sorry.
Ends. I want to say the Nick Cage one just because that's a movie like made for Taylor, but I don't know. He wasn't that hot on the trailer, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, honorable mentions: Northman, Spider-Verse, and Thor.
Oh, Spider-Verse, an honorable mention.
Those are. And in descending order. Now I had to really think on this, and like this is tough. Like I have to think. Okay, like I know me, I know what I'm gonna go and enjoy, but
I know me.
like it's
Like,
in
you
the
want to
top
put that on
5.
there? I know me. I know me, Taylor. He's talking to himself.
Killer.
I was just thinking of that fucking locker room scene from Scary Movie.
Who the fuck did this? I know.
Oh my god. Clocking. Fuck. Oh.
And that just takes me back to that Tom Holland joke that we had a few months ago. We won't talk about it on air, but man, it's good stuff.
Clocking in at number 5, The Batman.
Oh God!
My wee heart.
I just had a mini heart attack right there.
Again,
I'm
it's in
done.
the top 5.
Oh.
That's a good thing because I'm super stoked on my top 5. Travis is really gonna have a heart attack. Number 4. Remember, this is me we're talking about here. Sonic 2.
Oh no!
I am really, really, really excited for Sonic 2. I'm really excited for Sonic 2. I really am. Clocking in number 3. Avatar 2. I am.
Oh, I should have known about the tar.
I'm really stoked on Avatar. Like really, really stoked. I'm so jazzed on this. What it's gonna offer.
Damn.
Clocking in at number 2. Doctor Strange. And then sure enough, clocking at number 1, reaching for my heart, Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh, there you go. I should have thought about Avatar. Sonic makes sense, but Sonic over the Batman? Oh my.
I mean, that's a
Never
tough
makes
one.
sense.
Like
Oh
that one
my
could definitely
God.
fluctuate, I should say. So
Oh, it's too late now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you did that. Happy. You know, we didn't get to do it in 2 years, but we brought you the movie preview. We'll be doing the video game preview. Not sure it'll be as long as this because there's not many dates, but we'll be doing the draft, so that's going to be tons of fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoy this episode. When you hear from us next, not be boring.
Peace.
bye bye.